Good morning, Ghana. Welcome to the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. My name is Eura Adams Kareem. It's a pleasure to be seated here this morning, bringing you the best of breakfast here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. I want to believe that you're doing very well, that you woke up on the right side of your bed, and that you're excited for what the day has today for you. And so, if you're alive today, please give thanks and glory to the Most High God that He's kept you safe up until today, the 7th day of July, where the 7th month is the 7th day of the 7th month of the year 2026. And of course, we are most grateful to God that we're all here, that we're alive to witness this particular day. And we continue to pray that we will be alive to witness many more days, many more weeks, many more months, many more years on this planet Earth, as we achieve our purpose. And whenever the Lord is pleased with us, may He, as we'd always say, take us to be with Him in the afterlife. But of course, that's something we can always look at and talk about later. There's definitely a lot happening in the country and on the continent of Africa, and there's a lot that we will be bringing you on the show today. Lots of updates from the world of sports and, of course, world of entertainment. The World Cup is still going on. Some superpowers, as far as football is concerned, are falling. We still have some African teams in there. We're hoping to see how best they perform and how far they go in the tournament. The entire continent is rooting behind them, and we'll see how all of that pans out. Cristiano Ronaldo, unfortunately, is unable to pick a World Cup. Quite unfortunate, quite sad. But it is what it is, as we would usually say. Let's walk through some of the issues making rounds in the country. Key news: GFA denies knowledge of Carlos Queiro's resignation despite emotional farewell message. That's a conversation that's still developing. Of course, now a lot of people are not sure whether that message was meant particularly for the World Cup or was meant for resignation as coach of the Black Stars of Ghana. We're still waiting for clarity as far as that particular message is concerned. And once that clarity is gotten, I'm sure that we will come back to you with that particular one. But that message from Carlos Queiroz was indeed very deep. If you took your time to read that message, you'd realize that there are lots of things that he said in there. And once you unpack the message, you would indeed understand what the challenges are, what the issues are, and what we must address as a nation going forward. What stood out for me in that message was the fact that he said that we cannot fix Ghana's football issues on the pitch. We've got to fix them off the pitch. And he was absolutely right. The challenges are challenges that we must address off the pitch. And once we're able to address them and fix them and to create that enabling environment for football and sports development to thrive, I'm sure that we would see improvement in the kind of performance that we give when we go out there for international tournaments. And that, of course, would be demonstrated locally. And as far as our local league is concerned, and as far as other sporting activities are concerned, I'm hoping that the people who matter, the people who have the power and the authority to effect the necessary changes, would do that. Away from Carlos Queiroz's message, the court has granted the Attorney General and Wontumi more time to negotiate a 30 million Ghana cedis Exim Bank case. If you remember the issue between Chairman Wontumi and the Exim Bank issue, where he's of course asked for a plea bargain to pay back the money. Negotiations, we are told that are going on as the court has granted some time for both the Attorney General and Wontumi's side to negotiate on that particular case. The Ministry of Health to begin recruitment of 36th batch medical and dental officers on July 8th. So that's starting from tomorrow. The Ministry of Health will start recruiting their 36th batch of medical and dental officers. So if you fall within that particular category of medical officers, it's time for you to take advantage and apply to be recruited. The Student Loan Trust Fund has set 15th of July as deadline for 2025-2026 student loan applications. So if you're hoping to apply for a student loan, please, 15th of July, that's basically just next week, is the deadline for your loan application. So please do well to put in an application before the said deadline. Government to evacuate another batch of over 900 Ghanaians from South Africa. Yesterday we had that conversation about South Africa and the killing of a Ghanaian citizen. Today on the show we're going to have another conversation on migration in general. Look at it more from the bit of illegal migration and what would push people to want to leave Ghana to go to other countries in search of whatever. We'll have that conversation today, and we're taking cue from the happenings in South Africa to inform the conversation we're having today on the show. So we'll bring you that as well. We'll also touch briefly on the 2025 Auditor General's report, but tomorrow we'll have a proper conversation on that as well, putting together the right resource persons to discuss it in detail. But today we'll just do a glossary, you know, of it, look at it in summary or in brief, what are the key issues that were raised, and then tomorrow we'll have a proper conversation about that. 8 in 10 Ghanaians say they can express their views freely. This is the Afro Barometer survey. So basically, free speech is still very much present in Ghana under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Mencia royal family nominates Nana Ama Bonsu the first as new Asante Hema. High Court dismisses Abu Trike's emergency application to halt extradition to the United States of America. Government pays $700 million Eurobond bill ahead of schedule. Total payment hits $2.1 billion. And President Mahama declares July 10 and 11 as national cleaning days for flood-affected regions. And so about 7 regions out of the 16 regions would be honoring this particular day, making sure that they clean up their cities and towns and communities after the recent flooding that took place last week. Quite unfortunate scenes in most parts of Accra, and condolences to the families who lost their loved ones, and then of course to apologies, you know, that we failed you people. Quite unfortunate. Your country failed you. Anyway, our temperature this morning is 25 degrees Celsius. It's partly cloudy out there. We're expecting some light showers during later this morning around about 8 o'clock a.m. all the way to about 11 a.m. Just a few drizzles, nothing too heavy, according to the forecast that we have here. But it's 25 degrees Celsius. That is the temperature. And then our word of motivation this morning is something that you would like, something you would enjoy, and it's something that I would always say. And it says that progress may be slow, but it's still progress. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. The seeds you're planting today will bloom in ways you never imagined. Let's take it again. It says progress may be slow, but it's still progress. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. The seeds you're planting today will bloom in ways you never imagined. And this is what my message has always been. Okay? And so it doesn't matter how you're moving, and I've always maintained that it's not about how fast you get there, but it's more about how grounded are you by the time you get there, and how long would you stay on top when you get there. So if you rush the process, if you fasten the process, if you quicken the process, and you get there when you're not ready for it, you will crash early, you will come crumbling down. And so take your time and build gradually. Yes, it may be slow. Yes, things may not be as fast as you expect them to be, but it is still progress. Once you're able to wake up every day and lay one brick or take one step, you've still made progress. It is better than not doing anything. And that's why if you listen to that song by that musician, he says, slow motion is better than no motion. So at least your progress might be slow, but it means that you're still doing something, and that is better than you not doing anything at all. And so the progress may be slow, but it is still progress. So you've got to keep showing up. So still wake up every day and go to work. Wake up every day and build on that thing that you're building. Keep doing the work. Don't stop because it's slow. Debbie, show up and continue doing the work. Continue putting in the efforts, because the seeds you are planting today will bloom in ways you never imagined. Because that small, those little droplets that you're putting in, before you realize, they become a mighty ocean. And so out of the blue, before you even think about it, the big opportunity comes. And when that opportunity comes, you're ready for it because you're already grounded. Because you've already prepared yourself. Because you've developed yourself over the years. During those periods of slow motion, those periods of slow progress. But at the end of the day, there was still progress. That's how you get grounded. That's how you build yourself. That's how you develop yourself. And so when things are going slow, or when things are not going as you expect or as you want them to be, don't give up. Keep putting in the effort. Keep doing the work. Because although the progress might be slow, think of it as the fact that you're planting seeds. And when you plant a seed, it doesn't germinate the same day. It takes time. It goes through a process. And life is the same way. Everything that we do takes time. We must be willing to go through the mill. We must be willing to go through the process. And while at it, we always must have at the back of our mind that those seeds that we are planting, that those steps that we are taking, that those little things that we are doing, that the constant showing up, the constant doing the work, no matter how little it might be, would one day blossom into something that you least imagined, would one day become that big breakthrough that you have always sought. So please, keep showing up. Keep doing the work, and believe that one day that slow progress will become that big thing that you have always been waiting for. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
world's biggest football festival is here and Ghana is watching together. This June, the Ghana TV Consortium brings you the FIFA World Cup 2026 live and free to air on GTV, Joy Prime, GTV Sports Plus, Adum TV, WoezorTV, Metro TV, UTV, Original TV, Garden City TV, Obono TV, GH1 TV, Ago TV, Onya TV, TV3, Max TV, and Sporty TV. 3 host countries, 48 teams, 1 unforgettable tournament. Follow every moment of the Ghana Black Stars journey, every rivalry, every goal, and every celebration. Enjoy crystal clear high-definition broadcast with expert local analysis and the passion only Ghanaian broadcasters can deliver. From the opening whistle to the crowning of champions, your football home is right here. The FIFA World Cup 2026. One nation, one consortium. Ghana TV Consortium, bringing you the best of the World Cup. Brought to you by Sportybet, Star Oil, MTN, Pepsodent, Kivo, Polytech, Lavance Tomato Mix, and Heaven Insecticide Spray.
All right, thank you for still staying with us here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Indeed, it's a good morning. Randy just joined me in studio. We're about to get the conversations going this morning. And let me talk to Randy and then we'll come back to this issue. Charlie?
Yeah.
What are you going?
Ade.
Everything cool?
Everything cool and Chris. Yourself?
Happy enjoyment?
Charlie, we day.
The boys and the girls.
Oh yeah, I mean we are managing. Things are beginning. I mean things are bouncing back gradually. I mean usually when I manage to get this Bolt, Uber, and whatever, I do have conversations with the drivers. Mostly I ask them, Charlie, a cousin, how they go, how the job day, and at least from indications from most of them, things are bouncing back. The economy is working to their satisfaction. And I think to a large extent that's what many Ghanaians will be expecting or will be hoping for as well, knowing so well how and where we are coming from, Karim. So I mean, I think that yes, by and large, everything is fine. We just praying. The only challenge now we have as a country is how to deal with this flood. That is a conversation that I'm sure everyone is talking about at the moment. Aside that, Charlie, we are good.
I've been following the Jubilee House social media channels and on Facebook especially, and you know the flood mitigation task force that was set up recently, you know, led by Brigadier General Foster Okan Yeboah. And Charlie, the level of indiscipline, Randy, in this country is too much. For instance, I'm looking at pictures and videos right now, and Selassie, if you can put some of them on the thing, I've sent you some of them of how people have encroached. In fact, in a place called New York, in Oyaifa, and somebody has decided to build a retention wall to prevent water. Water. He wants to divert the direction of the water because of his property. In fact, in some instance, one of the pictures that I saw, somebody had built a fence wall to redirect the natural flow of water. because of our no estate or no estate. Shana, I mean, what kind of country are we living in?
Karim, I think you missed out yesterday. For the first 30 minutes, I spent talking my heart out on this issue. I spent close to 20-30 minutes yesterday speaking my brains off on this issue. Karim, it is pathetic. It is sad that these are the same people who cause and create this sort of mess. Then they turn around and blame people. I mean, other persons. They hold other persons responsible. For a fact that they have appointed me as a committee chair, why can I be everywhere? Should I be there to prevent you from doing the silly things you are doing? Then you have all these people sit on social media, play politics with this issue. You as a citizen, the man who is sitting on social media, insulting whoever you think is supposed to be in charge. In your community, how many times have you gone out there to speak to people? The people building in unauthorized areas. How many times have you taken the steps to go and confront the people or ask them, why are you building here? How many times have you taken it upon yourself to go to the nearest assembly and lodge an official complaint? How many times have you even taken upon yourself to move away from your community and take this report to a higher level? What has been the outcome of it? So Karim, it is sad. I told you, I said it the last time, that it is a mixed feeling I got last week Friday when this press briefing was done. Looking at the videos, looking at the pictures, it is sad that we sat, and in a space of say 10 years, because you look at it, they mentioned, some of the pictures in 2010 and what we are seeing in 2026, some 2006 and what we are seeing in 2026. Now I ask, how did it happen? Long period, Karim, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Are we saying that nobody saw these people develop those areas? The Oyarifa thing you are talking about. The guy did not wake up one morning and decided to build a retention wall. It took him days. It took him weeks. It took him months. What did they do in that area? And that's why I'm saying that, Karim, for this to serve as a proper precedent and also one of the KPIs that these MCs or the MMDAs, the leaders in those offices ought to apply by, sack some of them. In districts or communities, what's the name? Municipalities or districts where we still have some of these issues. And for a fact that there could be traces to man playing a part in the flood situation, the MC in that community or in that district should be fired. Karim.
Randy, one conclusion that, just look at how people have built close to a waterway. That be waterway. Waterway. Look at somebody's wall. I wish I could have a pointer so I'll be indicate. Just look at somebody.
So we brought the red markings. Maybe you can bring back the red markings.
You look at the greens. That's somebody's wall that is extending to the nonsense. That's somebody's wall. And you know rightly well that it's a waterway.
So now zoom. Let the viewers see.
Look at the slum there. Look at the slum. All of those people have clearly entered inside the waterway. You understand? Even where there's supposed to be a tarred road, including that slum, all of that has entered inside the waterway. So what kind of, and look at somebody's wall that he's building all the way into the thing. Then at the end of the day, it rains. The rain enters this place, then you complain and say it's government. Randy, ordinarily there should be no property after the road. You see where the road is on the right? Ordinarily there should be no property.
You see that story building with the red zinc?
Yes.
That building should even be removed.
That's what I'm saying, that all those properties along that stretch, there should be no property there. If it's anything to go by. After the road, the rest should be a pathway for water. Randy, if not for anything, in all of the things that I've seen in my travels, nobody is even allowed to build this close to the road to start with. Nobody. Look, settlements for where people must live are entirely marked as settlements for where people must live. So you live there, you stay there. It's an area, it's a neighborhood, in a safe place. Everybody is there. Highways are highways. Nobody builds any house closer to a highway. Just look at that. Randy, look at somebody's wall. Look at somebody's house and see where it is. Randy, why would flood water not enter? Why would where you live not flood? This is the level of indiscipline that we talk about. And me, I want to believe, Randy, that a lot of these people do not have permits to put up these buildings. They don't. And so even though we might sit here and be questioning who gave, just look at that. Look at how people have encroached and put up wall. You see the wall that's blocking the water from moving. After the greens, put up walls to block water from going. That is what we have done in this. And this is East Legon, if what I'm seeing is right. That building you are seeing there on the yes.
Is this not that bridge? Wasn't
that's
it?
What I'm seeing. That's this road goes to connect Ajiringano and yes, that's
yes. I mean that place got flooded, I think, recently.
So that's one. That is East Legon. That is East Legon. Look at how people have encroached. In fact, as we speak, there's some land. I don't know if they captured it. There's some land in the corner, down right corner. Somebody has started filling. That's if they haven't finished filling it to move in and start building. On this same road, when you are driving on the boundary road towards American House, opposite something Kokrobite, somebody has also come to fill another waterway and they are putting up shops or they are putting up stores. That is the level of indiscipline.
Karim, let's get it clear,
Randy, that
it is okay to say that the rains we are experiencing now seem heavy. Do you get a point? And we are told that we will experience more of that.
Yeah.
But before that would even affect us, it is our own attitude. It is our behavior. And that is why we are finding, we find ourselves in that situation. And I'm scared. Yesterday, when we heard the report that it is likely to rain again in the morning, my only prayer went out for the homeless. What will become of them again if indeed it rains? Where would they be? Where would they go? Because recording 34 deaths, that is just what we have accounted for. It's sad.
You see the land I'm talking about?
Karim, it is gross indiscipline.
You see it. All of these are waterways, so people have.
Do we need court permits? Look, Karim, do we need court permits
your courts are
to go and pull down these buildings?
Even your court.
That's what I'm asking. Because you know how this country works. You go and pull down a building, somebody from somewhere will come and say, me cool 32.
Randy,
I contributed to the success of the party.
You see, Randy,
the president is my cousin. And so what? Such people are nation wreckers. I said it yesterday, Randy, and without fear or favor, I will not mince my words. Pardon me.
If you remember, in 2024, there was a viral video of me, and I said it clearly in that video that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has two options. Option number one is to come and leave a mark and leave his legacy. And option number two is to come and do business as usual. As part of that legacy that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wants to leave is to ensure that the indiscipline that we witness in this country becomes a thing of the past. And that indiscipline will start from not condoning that legacy.
That's the Tessa Dam.
That's what I'm saying. This one is Ajiringano here on our road. There is a road we drive on every now and then. That is it. This water is supposed to connect to some bridge be on the motorway. That is that stretch. Why? What kind of indiscipline is that? And somebody has failed. To the fact that he even has vim to build wall. He's built wall inside it. This person's wall too has protruded inside the thing. These people have come to put up apartments on the back of that thing. I mean, how do you even expect people to come and live in this apartment? How this water is smelly?
But people will live there.
If you drive on this road, how this water is smelly?
But people are there.
This staircase you are seeing there like that, like whatever. It used to be road, that's why we're using our cars to pass until they came to do that new bridge.
Oh.
Yes.
You know how much, accommodation costs in that area you're saying? Do you know how much you pay for accommodation in that area? Please, people are living there. But my point again, and Karim, you mentioned it now, that yes, we might shout, we might scream that permits. Maybe the people don't even have permits.
That's what I'm saying.
But is it my duty?
I want to believe that.
Now, is it my duty?
The day they finish paying for the land and they take them and they do the corner marking, no, they are getting draftsman.
Yes.
Oh,
I want to believe that they don't have permits. And you know what? When the assembly, their task forces go. Every day when they go, then they go and take small.
Yeah, no confuse.
And they go.
That is why I'm
then
saying
they go
that.
and take small.
That is why I'm
then
saying
they
that.
Go.
Gentleman and lady, sack the people.
Who are you sacking?
Sack the DC or the MC.
Who are you sacking?
But
How are you sacking them?
Where are the KPIs?
How are you sacking
Where
them?
are the KPIs?
Because at the end of
when you have your regional minister chasing after
how are you sacking them?
People are dying in your region.
How are you sacking them?
Due to death. People are building in unauthorized
At the end of the day,
people carry no,
Randy, I'm coming. Randy, I'm coming. No, let's have an understanding.
Heads must roll.
Let's have an understanding.
People need to face it.
Granted. That would first.
You sit aloof in your office and people can build unnecessarily in your district.
That will first start with you demolishing those properties.
We have demolished, sir.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
demolish those properties.
Oh,
those chiefs that have sold those lands, they are not above the law. Well, you can't arrest chiefs in Ghana because chiefs are above the law, because chiefs are superficial beings, because the 1992 Constitution and the rule of law does not apply to chiefs in Ghana. If a chief decides to behave like a puppy, they must be treated like a puppy. The reason why we are not developing in this country is the same indiscipline that we keep talking about every now and then.
Should we hold the chiefs responsible and forget that what we are saying?
No, but my point is that who sold the land first?
As for the selling of the land, there it is business. The person decides to sell.
No, Randy, you decide to sell what? You decide to sell what away? No, let's have that conversation. We all know
responsibility and authority needs to play.
Granted, that's what I'm saying.
So if I have sold my land,
no,
it is up to the state to develop. Give us the money.
Some of the lands are not owned by anybody. Achimota Forest, when Sir John was willing it to his nephew forever and ever,
but we all know,
no, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. That when Sir John was willing it to his nephews forever and ever, was it his family property?
No, but I'm saying that we know the issues with Achimota.
Granted, but I'm saying that was it his family property?
Why must he even sell Achimota?
But Sir John was willing it to.
No, but that's
Randy,
Achimota.
but do not be surprised. Randy, don't be surprised that as we speak, Achimota Forest has been shared. Randy, I'm telling you, don't be surprised that as we speak, Achimota Forest has been shared, and people are just waiting for the day that they will move in and start clearing trees and building. Don't be surprised. I'm telling you, at all in this country, that people have shared Achimota Forest already, both NDC and MPP, and they are waiting for the right time that they will enter and start building. And then when they enter and they start building, nobody will cough. And don't be surprised at all, and it will be the political class. That is the problem we have in this country. That we can't face the truth and say the truth as it is. That is our problem. This demolition they are doing right now, me, I've said it. If you know that you can't follow through with the thing, then it's useless. Don't even start. Don't start. If you know that you can't start the thing from crane and finish at crane, then it's useless even starting in the first place. Because it's of no use to waste taxpayers' money to embark on that exercise. It will be an exercise in futility. If you cannot demolish all of these properties, including all of those story buildings that are standing there and blocking the waterway, then it is useless to even start the process.
Karim, hold on. Sela, bring back that video yesterday with the red markings. Then we know the number of houses that ought to be demolished before the end of the year. What's the timeline given the task force?
Who's going to man that demolition?
But that is why the brigadier is in charge.
Okay.
Hey, hello. That is why the brigadier is brought in to be in charge. You see man with mopo. Not be the guys where be the land guards who people see as what's the name? The guys who slap Sam George, no? How do you even call them?
Azoka boys.
No. Oh, they have a name, an official name. National security. No. This one official men in uniform, they will lead the charge as far as the demolition is concerned. But I'm asking, like as Karim said, are we going to see that this is it? This alone tells you that this is the number. I wish I can just get there. Karim, this is it. Look at the red markings as you have it here. How did these people get here? So this is what we have left.
That's what,
just this marking, the white, between the white marking and then the red marking.
And
that side hasn't been sold.
And that
is a good question.
People waiting for dry.
That is even a good question.
And that is wager.
Okay, yes,
you understand?
Exactly.
And I'm saying that Randy.
Let's get it clear, Randy, please. On the left, maybe you can just give us the before.
That is 2010.
Exactly. This is how it used to be. This is how it looked
2014?
Like.
I'm saying
2010.
2010. Yes. On the left is 2010.
And this one.
On the right is 2026. So how many years now?
So within
16 years?
Yes, within 16 years.
This is what we have.
What we've been able to do.
And you say we shouldn't sack people?
Add another 5 to 10 years.
Then we are done.
The question, which people are you sacking today? The people who supervise this rot.
But they are the assembly people. The guys in the assembly.
For all you know, a lot of those people have retired. Some have even died 16 years down the line.
Where is the handing over?
That's what I'm saying. That people
who sat on that handing over notes?
16 years down the line.
Yes, they should be handing over notes.
People have that. You see, that is why that conversation about re-electing MMDCs must come up.
Oh yeah, I mean that has.
I hope you're getting my point. Yeah. That conversation about re-electing our MMDCs must come up, so we don't give political parties a room to pick and choose people to come and sit there and engage in a lot of these corrupt activities we are seeing today. I will not blame any MC or any DC who is sitting in office today because they came to meet this mess. I hope you're getting my point. They came to meet this mess. So if the government of the day today has decided that we must demolish and we must clear space for water, then perfect. But I'm saying that if at the end of the day, the government of the day knows that this task force that we have created cannot follow through with what we want them to do from start to finish, then it is useless not even start. It is useless to even start in the first place. It's as simple as that. That is my point. Just imagine how people are building clearly, and you know that where you are building, you are not supposed to build a waterway. It is a lowland. Look at the sea. Look at the sea. Then you have come to gather yourself here to build houses. And then when it floods, you get up and you say government. When it floods, you say your MP. When it floods, you say minister. When it floods, you say DC. DC never see down waho. Who see down who names a Wunyan Chero say baby I see down in here. There was a young man's post I saw on social media. And he said that when he bought the land and started building, one rain came and he realized that this place that I've gone to buy the land to start building, ordinarily I should not have bought the land. He abandoned the project. And left it like that. He knows that yes, he's lost money, a car before, but at the end of the day, you must pick your personal safety first. Right, sure. So if you, the individual, you can't prioritize your personal safety, and as a result of your selfish interest, you choose to put your life in danger and the lives of other people in danger, who should take the blame for it? It should definitely not be the government. So when I hear people mention and I say, and I'm telling you that, Randy, it is the political class.
Of course, who else will buy land there?
It is the political class. It is not ordinary people like you and me. You and me. Do you have money to go and buy Chado land? Today, if you want one plot,
I say, even if we buy, we can't develop
that's what I'm telling that
we can't develop
today,
it.
Chado,
What are you saying?
If you want to buy land in Chado land is selling not less than $400,000.
Oh.
That's over 4 million cedis for a plot of land, 70 by 100 in Chado today. If you want to buy Chado land, 70 by 100. Randy, as you and I, we are sitting here. Do you have $400,000 to go and buy Chado land? Which people have money to buy Chado land?
But that is why
the reason why you cannot enforce the law to demolish properties, the reason why you cannot move people and push down those properties, those illegal structures, is because the people who put those properties out look out for each other. They are the political class, the business people, the so-called elites in this country, and we expect that elite people should know better, because so you should know better and know that the things you are doing are things you should not be doing. But they supervise the rot in this country. Yabeka Moses, here for the yanya you. Me ni Chado asasisika. Me ni Teshio Senungwa Ramsar site asasisika. You understand? Today, Achimota Forest, I make Achiro say Yachichi Atoin, Amon Muhi. Sa Achimota Forest, me ni Husika. Achimota Forest is in a prime location. And I'm telling you that do not be surprised if they have shared Achimota Forest amongst themselves. Because what impetus, what right, what locus does Sir John have to say that he's willing his piece of land in Achimota Forest to his nephew forever and ever? That same person also willed land at a Ramsar site to the same nephew. Randy, and you are telling me what?
So hold on.
Let's not exclude anybody from
that. That even reminds me.
Yes.
On the Sir John thing, what happened to that will?
Who knows? Only God.
Has it been reversed?
Only God.
We don't know. Or what? So the family, the person who they will
only God
will take over.
No.
His piece of land at Waterford.
You live in a country where your city, everybody has cut down trees to build houses. You live in a country where everybody feels that they must own a house and they must build a house. You live in a country where people are not concerned about building vertically. Everybody wants to do horizontal building. We're seeing a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, now a wall, or no one. Then I'm more shisha. Just stubborn proud. He needs stubborn proud. Even in the countries where they have the money and can afford to individually build their homes, they don't do that. People live in apartments till they die, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But like I keep saying, at the end of the day, Randy, The biggest problem in this country, Ghana, is the Ghanaian people. Let them start this demolition. You will find idiots on social media. You find people on social media making it politics about it. Say, NDC are buying by, and NDC are buying say, and NDC are buying say, and NDC are buying say. You will find people on social media talking about it. But at the end of the day, why can't we not, as a people in this country, decide that, look, we are going to take the hardest step for the sake of the future? Why can't we make very simple and basic sacrifices to say that, look, these demolitions we are doing, we are not doing it because anybody hates anybody, but we are doing it because we ought to do it for the future of our country. There's a video of Sentuo, the oil refinery. Yeah. It got flooded. But if you remember, at the time they wanted to put up that building, conversations came up about the fact that you must not put up that building there because it's in a waterway. Randy, people fought it tooth and nail. Of course, today, as the rain where the place flood, we know they here. Yeah. We haven't seen anything yet. May it continue to rain. You see, no, if the rains had not fallen, if the rains had not fallen the way, if the rains had not bring water, let's reverse that. If the rains had not fallen the way they fell, if the rains, I'm not reversing it. I'm not reversing it.
Because there are innocent people.
Randy, I'm not
like us who are living in the slum.
If we the innocent people, we are those who do politics about it.
So I was going there.
We the innocent people, we are those who do politics about it. We are those who support the political class to behave the way they behave in this country. Yes, we the poor people, we are part of our own problem.
Okay.
It is not we the poor people, we are part of our own problem. Let them arrest a politician today. Which people go and do demonstration? Which people take 2020 Ghana and go and sit on the flood Yoko office? Is it not us? We won't go anywhere if we continue with this attitude. Look, Randy, if the truth is there, you must let us speak the truth to power. Please.
Okay.
We know what the problems are.
On the back of that,
we know.
Now, we blame the people in authority, like the ones you have.
We are blaming everybody. I'm not leaving anybody else. It is everybody. The people in authority, they are not aliens. We didn't even bring them from space.
So, Karen, you spoke about the cantonments, the Chados and the others. But one will also argue that you look at the flooding situation, it knows no boundary. Alajo got flooded. Alajo is not like cantonment or.
Do you know Alajo?
Hold on. At least.
Have you seen the drain?
That's why I want to say. Let me make the point. Let me make the points clear. Then you understand what I'm saying.
Andy.
It's a major waterway.
Alajo,
for instance, got flooded. This is the point. What contributed to the floods in Alajo as well? Human attitude. Karim, tell me why I will sweep my house, gather my rubbish, put it into a rubber or a dustbin, and at the mere sight of clouds, I am running to the big gutter to throw these things into.
Because there are no laws.
Do you get the point I'm building? So in as much as we are blaming the poor man, the rich man,
that's what I'm saying,
the affluent in society, the poor man is also supposed to be blamed.
The blame is for everybody. That's why I told her I'm not leaving anybody out. Because at the end of the day, Randy, like I said, when we say we are blaming the political class or we are blaming people in authority, the people in authority and the political class, are they aliens? Did you go and bring them from Pluto or from Mars? Or from Venus, or from Uranus? We didn't bring them from space. They were selected from amongst us. In fact, we selected them to go and represent us. When we are doing those elections, you know why we do those elections? And then we'll be Nimquasi Assembly and Chinon Fanco, or Henning Ebeba Besre, Ebeba Patch or seeing, you know. Politician Ebeba Patch or seeing, you know. Or Swaffle and Ebeba Patch or seeing, you know. I say, you let them start these demolitions and you see. You hear now, so chief will come inside and say, and for him.
Brigadier, please. When are we starting? When is the job starting?
Brigadier General. If Brigadier and his people know that, Randy, they cannot
do the job.
They cannot do the job.
I said, trust Brigadier.
They should not even start.
Karim, they will do the job. They will do the job. Trust Brigadier. They will do the job.
Ghana, we did.
They will do the job.
We don't like one day wonder.
I'm saying they will do the job.
If you will reset this country,
did you see? Did you see the Brigadier's face? Please bring the Brigadier's video.
What I've come to realize about this.
See the Brigadier.
Don't forget it.
Oh, la Karim. I'm telling you.
What I've come to realize about this country and Ghanaian people is that.
Did you grow up in the barracks?
And Ghanaian people is that boko boko.
Did you grow up?
That's what I've come to realize.
Did I not tell you that we need to bring back the JJ era small part?
All I'm saying is
small part.
All I'm saying is that what I've come to realize.
If we are going to bring it back, and in the next day we won't find people doing press conference and cry foul in the name of human rights.
Well, hold on.
That is okay.
Look at the general. Look at the brigadier.
And that is okay.
You think he'll go and joke? You think this brigadier will go there and be laughing?
It's not about him going to joke or no not to joke. That's why Osofo or one chief.
We are not listening to Osofo. Nobody.
Or 132 calculus.
Those 32 calculus, they deserve some lashes.
Yo.
I told you that man should even be answering questions by now. They should ask him who gave him the permit. He says he's an Osofo, right? They should ask him who gave him the permit to build there. Where did he get the authorization to go and develop that property? And when they got there to demolish it, he had the impetus to say, because I donated 32. And so what?
You donated 32 cows.
Go and sit somewhere with your 32 cows, with all due respect.
The cow, did they take the meat to Jubilee House?
Please.
The cow, the meat. With Jubilee House.
People are dying. You say you've killed 32 cows. You've given money to the party. You've donated this to the party. And so what?
And you see, and that is what speaks to a lot of the structural issues that we have in this country. Political party financing. How are we financing political parties? How are we financing politicians? If we had structures and systems in place to check these things, at the end of the day, we know that the politicians' money did not come from one individual. At the end of the day, when the politician decides to take a certain step, then phone calls will start coming through and telling the person that, hey, Charlie, this one, yeah. So, what kind of country do we live in? That we are not willing to make sacrifices for the greater good of the future. Everybody is thinking about themselves and what they will get today and their selfish interests. And like I said, Randy, the people who are able to afford these lands are not you and me. And we know that. And I've given you a classical example. I say Chado, you can buy land in Chado for less than $400,000 today as we speak. In fact, who even prices lands? 400,000 land. That's the greed we talk about in this country. $400,000. That's Randy. And yes, 4 million.
Sake of what?
4 million Ghana cedis.
Look at this.
And he has built wall.
Look at this building.
To prevent the water from going. Push it down.
Look at this. By now, no need for explanation. Me, I'm saying that. That's why I trust the men in the uniform.
Look, and the
men in uniform.
How can they stop water from moving? Push it down. You see, clearly he's blocked the waterway and gone to put culverts.
Which area is this?
Oyarifa.
This is the Oyarifa thing.
They've blocked it and gone to put culverts. Andy, please, we must do better in this country. That's what I'm saying. If Brigadier and his people...
Oh, Brigadier go do the job.
I'm only saying.
No, I said look at Brigadier in place. Randy, one of those guys.
Randy, one thing you must understand in this country, and that's what I'm saying, that we must speak the truth. Especially for those of us who have the platform, we must speak the truth irrespective of who is in question. What we must understand is that the most powerful arm of government in this country is the executive.
Yeah.
The most powerful arm of government in this country is the executive. The executive determines how much the judiciary will be paid. The executive determines how much the legislative arm of government will be paid. They issue the payments. The executive, they pay.
Okay,
they pay
them. Demolished by. So this is Land Pantana. 18 June 2020 what?
2026. And that's
and today's date is
today
what?
Today is 7 July.
Yo.
If you are going to demolish, you should have demolished a long time ago.
And one.
It's there. Land
so that's
Municipal Assembly. 18 June 2026.
And it's still there.
Yes.
That wall is still there.
And you know the annoying thing about all of these things. Somebody will take this nonsense to court and go and put an injunction. And you have a judge grant that injunction and prevent the right thing to. You see, the selfish interest in this country, Randy, is just too much. That is the problem. They be sorry. See, somebody is building wall to divert. Look at that, to divert water.
Why are we this wicked? Why are we this wicked to ourselves?
That is the kind of country that
we are so wicked.
That is the kind of country that you live.
Meanwhile, these are the people who dress on Sunday neatly, white, with white shoe, with white cross. You gave a shirt to somebody yesterday. That's a white cross. White cross. They will go to church on Sunday, go and give thanks to Jehovah. Why are we that wicked? If 70% of the populace are Christians, then this country should be a successful country. We should have a country devoid some of these things. Why should we be that wicked?
Randy.
You know that the poor man downstream will suffer for the nonsense you have done. Yet you don't care. You don't give up. You don't care. You don't mind.
What we need in this country is not religion, and anybody can take me on it. What we need are principled people. You see, when we talk about morals, we are not talking about morals in terms of religion. We are talking about morals in terms of personal principles. The countries that we say they are immoral people. The countries that we say they are immoral people.
I don't know, they don't believe in Christianity. They don't believe in developing.
Look at them.
Are they not moving forward?
We do prayer. We go to Atria Mountains. We go to one. We pray and worship more than anybody. Yet we are the most wicked people you'd ever find on the planet Earth. Black man. Bibini. Randy, just look at this. And look at people's houses close to all of these things. And I'm telling you that don't be surprised. Somebody will come. They will sell for him. He will come and fill.
But why will you go and buy land from here?
People will buy.
Why?
Why? Because somebody feels that this life that he has come, if he doesn't build house, he's failed. That is the kind of country that we live in. We have an ego problem. We have an ego problem. Somebody feels that if he gets up and he doesn't build house, he has failed. That is the problem we have in this country.
But build somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. That is the problem we have in this country.
Can you see that grass? Once you go to an area and see that
grass, no go.
Must Jesus Christ come again and tell you
people are selling? Go to East Legon Hills. Go to Santo. Go to Ashalibotwe. People are selling lands in those places for $60,000, $70,000.
River.
And you went and they are selling river to you for selling. And you went by.
There's another looming disaster like that. When you're coming from Ablekuma into Mahia, Afuaman, growing up in Afuaman, there's a place called Paradise. The river, the days were extends like that. When we were growing up, there were days we were stuck at the back because the river had crossed the road and we couldn't go and we couldn't come. I was there last December, and the place I knew to be a river, Randy, people have pillars in there. There's a place after Ablekuma getting into Joma. There's a junction called Boko Boko. That place who had like a mini river. Water coming from Anya Nice top, Agape, passes all through that side before it enters the Densu through Paradise. Then sell all Itegota.
So they are seeing it.
Bro. Because when we were growing up there, people that we thought were closer to the water body, that when it rains, it gets into their rooms and things that they've left the place. And now they have failed and people are like, hey.
And so that's danger.
People, they won't talk about it. No one sees anything wrong with it until the rain start coming. And I know that one big rain will come.
And that's why Karim prayed like that.
The days who we knew then will come again.
Because you see, we will not allow somebody's selfishness let us pray for drought. We will pray for it. Just look at this one. Look at this one. You see the water? You see where the water is like? That is supposed to be the waterway out of somebody's selfishness. He has built wall to block it because he has to build houses to sell. Just look at that. Randy, why? Why? Look at that. And I'm telling you that you and I, sitting here, we cannot afford it. The house there right now, when they're going to sell it, they'll sell one for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. You, me and you sitting here, we cannot afford it. But somebody has bought how many of it?
Look,
and you tell me
now speaks about looming danger, and then the inability of.
May the rains continue to follow.
I keep
we
talking
won't allow
about
somebody's selfishness. Let us pray for drought. We pray for rain. We have planted maize and yam and cassava.
It's the best season to plant maize at this time.
Pray.
Or corn at this time.
We have planted rice.
The rain is.
We have planted rice.
Okay, rice fine.
We pray for rain so that we can have bountiful harvest. We won't allow somebody's selfishness prevent us from praying for rain, Randy.
Okay, I think something just came to mind.
May the rains come.
I think maybe the task
force
shelter can also have a toll-free number. I don't know if they have, but if they have a toll-free number, for instance, what you have noticed, you could report that. Then they follow up. At least out of the millions. Yes, out of the millions. I mean, the person in charge of this job definitely should know.
You see, I mean, that if you see something, say something campaign. Yes. It's not a campaign we should have limited to only terrorism. That campaign should be a campaign that we should run as far as anything is concerned. We must have a dedicated phone number. If somebody is misbehaving somewhere, putting up house where they are not supposed to put it up, call. Randy, when we were growing up, we had community vigilante groups. Okay, not these ones that the political parties used to misbehave or cause mayhem. We had community vigilante groups that will stand up to some of these things. When you are building where you are not supposed to build, there are those who will come and stop you and prevent you. What has happened to those community groups? We have collapsed all of those things. What has happened to our chiefs leading people to do communal labor? All our chiefs have become greedy. Everybody is thinking about money. That is why even now the chieftaincy, it is about who has money, because you have to go and buy it. Tell me why somebody would want to kill themselves to go and buy a chieftaincy title. When you know that the moment you take that chieftaincy title in the 90s, the number of people browsing you are many. You will go at any time. Then, but people are willing to what? To pay money and kill for those chieftaincy titles, just because of the greed and the selfishness and the money that they will get to chop and sell lands they should not be selling. And the annoying thing and painful thing about it is that they are doing double and triple and quadruple sales of one land. What kind of country do we live in? What kind of greed is it? And you see land like this and you go and buy. River View.
Let me give you an example. And now spoke about looming danger. Karim, you know Joa Pon so well. When going back to, say, Akosombo or whatever, after the lorry station, the Pon station, where the girls usually hawk their abolo and stuff, you know there are some speed ramps there. Just after the first speed ramp, on your right, so when you are going back to Akosombo, on your right, that place has this very big and deep gutter. For those who use that road so well, will know what I'm talking about. Karim, on the right side of that road, somebody has decided to go and fill portions of the gutter, raise it to the level of the road.
Oh yes.
I'm telling you, that gutter is a very deep and a very big, wide gutter. Those who know Pon so well will testify to what I'm saying. The guy or whoever has been able to fill that portion of the gutter to a highest level. And I'm sure, I think the last time I went there, it was filled up to the highest level where building is about to start. I'm sure by now, they would have started with some sort of foundation around that area. I don't know what project is about happening there. But give me 5 years to come.
Clearly, you can see that they have done, you see that as a staircase they have done.
Yeah.
That is...
What is all this?
It is for the water.
What is all this?
It is to control. Somebody has built the wall up onto that point. When you know that it is water that is supposed to be passing there. Now, this is it. It's Legon. All of these people, they are living inside water. Then when it rains and water enters your house, then you say government should come in. When you were buying the land and building, you didn't know that you were building inside waterway. Please, some of us would not condone this. But like I said, Randy, I'm just hoping that at the end of the day, all these things that we are seeing is not media and theatrics. That will come and see videos, and at the end of the day, nothing would happen to this place and nobody will open the waterway. I'm just hoping. 2025, 5th November, 2020, waterway demolished. 5th November, 2021, 2025.
And
the person who is supposed to go
that's a description from Nadmo.
The person who is supposed to go and lead the demolition, that is the kind of country that we live in. Or when you see the wall I'm talking about. Or when the person goes in an attempt to go and enforce this nonsense, then his boss, they'll go and see his boss in the office.
Yeah.
So the boss will call and say, let's look for another avenue. That is why we've been Johnson and patching
the kiosk estate.
We've been Johnson and patching the issues in this country. That is our problem, Randy. That is all these people who are living in those kiosks that you think that is free land. It's somebody's land. The person is just not ready.
Oh yeah, but the person takes money.
The person is not ready to develop it. The moment he's ready to develop, you come and sack all of them and develop. What kind of country do we live in? We claim that we have bought machines for drip, or how do you call it? Those machines, what do they do? Please, it's a very honest question I'm asking. Those machines, what have they been doing? By now, we should have gotten a detailed report of what drip has done since drip was introduced. How many roads have drip constructed? How many gutters have we distilted? How many demolitions have we done? Randy, you see, like I keep saying, we're a country that doesn't have standards. We're a country where there's no accountability, where anybody just gets up and they do whatever it is that they like and they get away with it for free and nobody asks a question. That is the kind of country that we live in. Please, and when you are distilting the gutters to please, those of you who do it, don't leave the sand on the edges because it costs 90. And you know why they do that? And assemblies in Now if they distilled and they carry the sand away, which sand will go back inside the distance for them to come and give contract to somebody to come and distill again?
Are they serious?
That is the country you live in. If you don't know today, I'm telling you. That is the kind of country you live in, because people are much more worried about the money that they will make than actually getting the things to work properly. That is why you give road construction work to contractors, and the contractors will do shoddy work because they know that if they do a proper job, road maintenance won't come for them to go and take contract and chop again. That is the kind of country that you live in. Randy, you have procurementpreneurs and you say they are business people. Please, if nobody will say some of these things, some of us will say it and damn the consequences. What can come, can come. We have a country to build. There are young people with a lot of potentials in this country.
We do.
And every day, because of these small issues that we could have fixed from the beginning, we allow fine talents, fine potentials to get up and leave this country. And we're going to be developing other people's country when we leave our country to suffer. Why? Greed and selfishness. That is the kind of country that we are building. And it's not only politicians and the people in power. It is everybody, because the politicians don't come from Pluto. They don't come from space. They are from amongst us. That is the country people are we are developing. Yeah, become please, if you open phone lines, you can open media. Finish talking.
055-269-7939. Call in, share your thoughts. 055-269-7939. Please make sure you reduce the volume of your TV sets when you call. Amanda Namusen, Randy, you are thinking a lot.
I am sad. I'm really sad.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
I am, because I feel that a bunch of people just too wicked. It's just sheer wickedness. Because now, tell me how on earth we've been dealing with a menace for how many years now? How many decades? The last time we saw a newspaper,
Since the 60s.
it was published in 1960 or 1950.
Yes,
One of them.
60s.
That Accra floods again.
I think there's a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. This is Shalikan. How are you doing?
Salikam, let's hear your thoughts.
Alright, so talking about all these issues, and one thing that I want to talk about is the fact that we've been talking about demolition structures on waterways. These things have been happening all the time, but so the problem seems to linger on. And one thing I want to ask, when the buildings are demolished, the debris, are they cleared from those places to give way for the water to pass whenever it falls? Because I don't get it. And to start with, if those huge buildings cannot be demolished, those small structures that are, the ones that are only going to be demolished, then I don't think it is even necessary to even start with the demolition. Because those, even though we all are part of the problems, not only buildings that are blocking ways, even our activities, human activities. Last Saturday, I was walking through some place and I saw some woman carrying rubbish from her house and sending it to a place where it's like a gutter where water passes through. And I was standing there and I was watching the woman. She was looking at me. Because I was there, she couldn't pour the rubbish at that place. I was just watching her and then I passed by. You see, sometimes our activities, these are some of the things that we don't take serious. Let's say a place like Accra, we have more than 5 million people living there. If everyone is supposed to be drinking water and just leaving the rubbish just like that, what will happen a day even if we are to drink water, even a sachet of water, what will happen? See, some of these things are very indisciplined of us. And I think these are the things that we those who are not in power, the citizens, we need to do something about it. It's not always about the big men, the leaders, those in authorities. Those are the ones that have to make everything right. We need to do the right thing. Some of us are greedy. You see, I don't know. So we need to check our attitudes too. It's not always about the big men, So I think that's one thing. That's something I also have to share about all this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Accra has been flooding since the 1960s.
Yeah, since the 1960s.
Charlie.
And we are here today. And now, tell me, if we are not wicked,
Yeah.
tell me why on earth we will go and borrow money. We will go for money meant for this flood. Tell me, why will we use about 60 million out of that money for a different purpose? For COVID-19. Tell me that if we are not wicked, how on earth, with all the money we have made from COVID-19 or out of COVID-19, we still had to go in for the garage money to sustain us during COVID? What at all did we even lose during COVID?
I don't know.
But you see,
I don't know.
when we fail as a people to punish the people who dissipated government money, these are the things that will happen.
Of course.
The COVID money
When they
self no
chop
pay
our
me.
money, what did we do to them?
The COVID one self no pay me past the one then take go do training.
What is this? Exactly. Look, we'll break it down.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Cynthia and I'm calling from Café.
Okay, Cynthia, let's hear you.
As we are talking about the demolition of the houses and the buildings, that is blocking the way of the water. I would like to also say about the buildings that we are putting up. When you go to Asagute School Junction, that's where I stay. You find a historic building there. Since 4 years ago, that they say that they will demolish that historic building, and it is still there. It is still there. It can kill someone at any time. As I'm talking, you go to Old Town. As we are going through a Church of Pentecost, the other time a building was there, and as it was raining, it killed someone, an innocent soul. That one needs to be demolished, and it is still there. And also, our attitude are also part of it. Our attitude are also part of it. It is raining, and we are throwing rubbish into gutters. You know that where you are going to build, there is a waterway, and we are still building. We are still buying land. With this flood that it went on, the innocent souls who lost their life, and the politicians are there, and we are also making it as politics, which is not fair. It is not fair. Innocent people are dying. You are selling lands for people in which it is not fair for you to sell them to them because of money. As our brother was saying, we are praying that the rain should continue to rain so that we will see the foolishness of us. The rain should still continue to rain. It is very bad. As they are going around and saying that we are going to do demolish, we are going to do, someone will call, oh, this is my nephew, this is my niece. Don't put the burden down. It is not fair. See where they built a building, blocking the way of water. Those building has been there. They say that they will demolish it at 18. And it's still there. Which is not fair. It's not fair. We should do something about it. We should do something about it. It's something else.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts there. And as a man, because please, those of you who have your nieces and your nephews and your pastors with spiritual sons and daughters, chiefs with their small boys and small girls, leave the military and let them do their work. This task force said, next year, I'm a fee. When we first and because the rain say, as a matter of fact, I get you by back money can work. You can work on bass and nay, but only one now, a baffino. You could allow you Randy knew she only one allowed you flat dear. Randy.
So okay. Okay.
When we were growing up, if somebody tells you, when I was growing up, if somebody tells me the person lives at Alaju, because the only thing I knew about Alaju was Alaju Gota. In Alajogata, flat when it rains. And if it's flooding when it rains, yeah, you know what is happening. I think there's a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. I'm Asamani calling from Nima.
Right, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, this discussion about flooding. You see, I like your fire. I like your fire, Ura. But you see, it's not all about talk. But for me, the basic problem I identify is that we are politicizing our institutions. Assemblies are closer to us. Now, I see on the screen the chief of staff and the army generals working and making decisions. They will make decisions, but you see, the assembly staff, the planning units, they go around with these building permits, why they shouldn't build here, they should build there. But we don't empower them. Abroad, Europe and the Americas and all the places that we see they are nice and we want to emulate them. It's strict enforcement of rules and regulations, laws. They are human beings like us. But here, we give power to certain individuals who are called honorables and party chiefs and all those things. And sometimes when somebody is a technical person doing his work, these people will now be placing calls and disturbing the work they are doing. And where do you think we are going with all this? It will not solve the problem. Let's stop this TV thing where people will be going carrying cameras and showing the whole Ghana that there's a problem. Everybody knows there's a problem. But what are we doing? We're not empowering our institutions. We are politicizing them. So now MPP comes to power, they will sack every head of assembly and say they are sabotaging their work. NDC will come, they will sack everybody. So there's no consistency. People don't work. Because maybe I am a planning officer. I have done my reports. I need to do implementation. So in 4 years, somebody is building, maybe it will take 6 years or 10 years. If I do a report and a party comes to power and says that he doesn't want to work with me, it means that he's already even look at my reports. And at the end of the day, the person will spend time in building, but the time the party will be fighting, the person will be building. So, commonsensically, you go and somebody has built a 3-story building and you find it hard or disheartening to break the building down. We should be serious as a country and stop politicizing all our institutions. That is my take.
Right. Thank you very much. And that was our last caller there. Thank you all so much for calling and sharing your thoughts. Randy, can you find out words?
Oh, me have already said what I say. We won't let somebody's selfishness and greed prevent us from growing our rice. We don't want drought.
Our rice must grow.
Why?
Maize must grow. Randy,
For me,
what did you plant? Cabbage or carrots?
oh, this year I'm dry.
You are dry.
Last year was terrible, so this year the famine there is
My first stock will come and visit you.
maybe we hope so. But now, on a more serious note, let's start punishing people. Because the monies we have squandered would have helped us in this situation we find ourselves.
Yeah.
People need to pay back whatever they have taken from this country. People, because it's our future. I told you yesterday that 50 years and above, they are almost leaving the country. They are almost gone. 60, if you are 60 years and above, the fact is that you don't even have a future again in this country. It is you and I, the 20s, the early 30s, the late 30s or the early 40s. They are the ones who have a future in this country. So we will not allow any old G who is above 60 and over to mess things up and go for us to suffer. They need to chase after the money. They need to chase after the people who are giving this unauthorized permits or whatever they are called. They need to clamp down on those buildings on waterways. Else, we'll come back here next year, 3rd July, 3rd June, right? And talk about it again. I rest my case.
Yeah, but Sunny and Noni, I agree more. We'll keep it there. And for me, I'm saying that the rain should come. Because the rains expose a lot of the bad things that's going on.
We beg.
You say what?
We beg. Where would the homeless sleep?
No, the homeless will be okay.
Oh, they sleep. We can't go to work. Activities will be low. So, we beg. The rain should be minute. It can come, but...
You see?
Kakrebi.
As the rains have come right now, it has triggered. Now, Brigadier General is on
He's
grounds.
working. Okay.
And so it should continue so that we'll still see the hidden gems. Some people were, they were favored small. They were covered. Maybe some way some miracle covered them. The rain should keep coming. So we see the loopholes. And again, please, Brigadier General and your team, Dakuman Junction. The main Dakuman Junction, there is something going on there from Dakuman Junction fast up to Dansoman Junction. We are not seeing the road top at all.
Why?
There is a drainage there and the thing is filled. And the water is on the road, like the outer lane. Oh, the Dakuma Eco Bank there or to Dansoman Junction. Bad. So please, people, be passing the back. Let's take a quick break. Or let's celebrate birthdays before we take the break. So 7 July 2026, if you celebrate your birthday, happy birthday to you. Let's get into our list of celebrants real quick and see who we are celebrating this morning here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. To begin with, this morning here, let's see who we are celebrating for birthdays. Okay, Christabel Sylvie, it's your birthday today. This is coming from Justice to you. He said, happy birthday to wonderful Christabel Sylvie. Much love, goodness, success, grace in this new age. May you continue to live the higher life. On this special day, I wish you joy that makes the heart sing. Do remember that in the Lord's garden, you are his forget-me-not flower. Okay, so happy birthday to you, Christabel, and this is coming from Justice to you. Away from her, let's see who we are celebrating again. Frederick Adu, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Have a great year. Have a wonderful year, Frederick Adu. And yeah, just coming from, I think this is Adu to you. Yeah, so happy birthday to you and enjoy your year. Away from him, let's see who we are celebrating again. Mr. Jerry Ziokli, wishing you lots of good health and more of God's blessing from your sweet wife and siblings. They wish you a blessed year. So happy birthday to you. Away from him, let's see who we are celebrating again this morning here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Mabel Sefako, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, and may this year be a blessed and beautiful year for you. Have a great one. Happy birthday, Mabel. Away from Mabel, who are we celebrating again this morning? To the ever amazing Michael Addo, happy birthday to you, bro. And from Jennifer, Peter, myself, mom and dad, we all wish you a blessed year. May this year come with lots and lots of God's blessings. May the lines fall in pleasant places for you. Wish you the very best that life has got to offer. Happy birthday to you, bro. Michael Addo. Enjoy your year. So that'll be it for birthdays this morning here. Okay, Tahib Salis Muhammad, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Tahib. May this year be a great year for you. Do we still have some more? All right, so that'll be it for birthdays this morning here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Please keep your wishes coming in to our WhatsApp number 055-269-7939. Let's share with you and your loved ones on your special day. We take a quick break. We'll be right back.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
The world's biggest football festival is here and Ghana is watching together. This June, the Ghana TV Consortium brings you the FIFA World Cup 2026 live and free to air on GTV, Joy Prime, GTV Sports Plus, Adum TV, WoezorTV, Metro TV, UTV, Original TV, Garden City TV, Obono TV, GH1 TV, Ago TV, Onya TV, TV3, Max TV, and Sporty TV. 3 host countries, 48 teams, 1 unforgettable tournament. Follow every moment of the Ghana Black Stars journey, every rivalry, every goal, and every celebration. Enjoy crystal clear high-definition broadcast with expert local analysis and the passion only Ghanaian broadcasters can deliver. From the opening whistle to the crowning of champions, your football home is right here. The FIFA World Cup 2026. One nation, one consortium. Ghana TV Consortium, bringing you the best of the World Cup. Brought to you by SportyBet, Star Oil, MTN, Pepsodent, Kivo, Polytech, Lavance Tomato Mix, and Heaven Insecticide Spray.
Or we can be the generation that ends it for good.
Malaria must die, so millions can live.
Your flight is ready to leave.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
All right, so let me just take you straight to the dashboard and take a look at what the papers are reporting this morning. Let's start off with the front page of the Daily Graphic. And the big one here says, special needs education now free. Government allocate 100 million Ghana cedis for implementation. A conversation definitely in the coming days we should touch on as well. Ghana can't solve climate crisis without waste infrastructure financing. That's according to the minister. Let's move to the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Nana Mabonso adored new Asante Hema, and also Kojo Safo confirmed Christo Safo leader in will. Want to me plea bargain talks extended to July 27. You can grab a copy and read the details of that story. Daybreak newspaper, Mahama sets 2 days for national general cleaning in flood heat regions. So this is just to clarify what came up yesterday. Larry Dogbe appeals contempt jail, calls order void. And also Audit Service Board member grabs over 1.315 million Ghana cedis sole sourced contracts. BNFT Eurobond repayment hits $2.1 billion as government gears up for 3.7 billion debt service through 2028. What does this really mean to Ghana's economy? We should touch on that in the coming days as well. Cocoa Board steps up farmer payments for cocoa recovery. That's a story on page 3 of the Business and Financial Times newspaper. The National Enquirer, the big one says Mahama Cares, Tamale Teaching Hospital Titan Partnership. There you have the CEO in there doing great in that space. National Prayer Day not response to floods. Elvis Free Ankara clarifies. The archive says GNPC abandons $14 million Elembele hospital project. Management opens forensic audit amid chop claims. And also Medical Trust Fund commits to cardiac care, back specialist training, modern infrastructure. The Business Analyst, BOG calls for unified anti-fraud system across banks, fintechs, platforms. And also government settles $700 million Eurobond obligation. Government announces 2-day national cleanup days. And also the overseer newspaper, I think we brought that. The Ghanaian Times also talking about the flood situation here in the country. It says Sakumono Lagoon under siege. Indiscriminate dumping turns wetland into landfill. That's a story on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Ghana Health Service steps up malaria fight as rains step in. And that's it with the WoezorTV newspaper review segment. And now he's on standby to give us the details of the stories.
Time now for the WoezorTV report. Let's take a look at the headlines. Many thanks for joining us. Let's settle in for the details of the story. The Ghana Armed Forces has intensified post-flood mitigation efforts with continued dredging of major drains and inspections of flood-prone areas in Accra. The mitigation task force, led by Brigadier General Foster Okan-Yeboah, together with Deputy Chief of Staff Stanislav Dogbe, Water Resources Minister Kenneth Ejay, and other officials, toured key water retention ponds and affected communities, including Tessa, Damfa, Amrahia, Oyarifa, and the Kpeshi Lagoon. The exercise forms part of government's directive for the military to lead post-flood interventions. Engineers have begun dredging drains using newly developed excavators and tipper trucks, while authorities say dangerous structures identified in flood-prone areas could be demolished to protect lives. And at Damfa, a retention pond had been heavily encroached upon, reducing its size and its ability to hold rainwater from the Ebri Hills. An official of the Garrett project briefed the team about the situation in the area. And still on flood mitigation, President John Dramani Mahama has declared Friday, July 10 and Saturday, July 11 as National General Cleaning Days in 7 flood-affected regions. The exercise theme are Actions Our Future, Cleaning Ghana After the Floods, will focus on desilting drains, clearing debris, and cleaning public spaces to help prevent future flooding. Government appointees have been directed to lead the exercise, while MMDAs and waste management companies will provide logistics to ensure prompt disposal of the collected refuse. Government is urging all Ghanaians to participate under the slogan, Clean Ghana, Save Lives. And the Ghana Railway Development Authority has rejected claims by the MPP that the newly procured locomotives are obsolete and only fit for a museum. Chief Executive Officer Dr. Frederick Apos said the locomotives were selected following rigorous technical assessments based on the operational needs of the Tema-Mpakadan railway line, not their age or appearance. He added that 38.7 million Ghana cedis locomotives and wagons will improve freight and passenger services, enhance cargo movement along the corridor, and help reduce pressure on Ghana's road network.
Diesel multiple unit heavy locomotive is different from a DMU for a passenger train. A DMU for a passenger train, the word D means diesel. It's like comparing a saloon car to an articulator truck. The power output of the DMU is 2.2 megawatts. It can power up to 4,500 homes. It can haul containers of up to 50 containers at a time, or at 38 tons laden. So market assessment pointed out to class 56. I've heard rumors, of course. I've not really paid attention to them because, of course, it doesn't matter. That the class 56 is an old train. It is not. Class 56 has got three baselines. Baseline 1, 1974 to 1982. Baseline 2, 1984 to 1992. Baseline 3, 1992 to 1998. These are the baseline for the class 56. Colas Rail, which operates in the United Kingdom, as of 2025, when I was in England, signed a 5-year contract to operate the RATT contract with Network Rail. That's £58 million. DC Rail uses the class 56 for movement of goods and other things. Thirdly, class 56 fits perfectly in terms of retractive effort on the Tema to Mpakadan line. So, the question is, what was the technical justification for their statement? There's none. And as the chief executive of GRDA, I am prepared. Even if I'm giving $100 million today, I will still buy class 56. Because from the technical specification point of view, from line utilization point of view, from line constraint point of view, from power utilization point of view, from the design and architecture of the constraint of Tema to Mpakadan line, you cannot bring in class 70. Class 70 needs up to 3,000 tons constantly to power it. Class 69 fleet is the mother of class 56. Is the same as class 56 in terms of the chassis and underframe. The body architecture or the body shells is different. Class 66 has got a power at rate of 3,350 horsepower. What it simply means is that without proper driver training, they will throw it away. And of course, we all know the encroachment issues that we have on the line. We may end up killing a lot of people. So buying a locomotive is not about architecture feeling. It's not like you are going to buy I don't know, we are put a makeup on. It is not like that. A locomotive has got one and only one function: to pull, torque, the ability to pull constantly, reliably, and is always available.
Away from that, the Ghana Immigration Service has opened its Regional Commanders Conference with a renewed commitment to strengthening collaboration, improving staff welfare, and enhancing border security operations. The 5-day conference, being held at the Ghana Immigration Service Center of Excellence in Accra, is on the theme Strengthening Command Synergy for Sustainable Growth.
Service has begun a 5-day regional commanders conference aimed at strengthening collaboration among commands and improving operational efficiency across the country. Addressing the opening ceremony, Controller General of Immigration said stronger collaboration among commands remains essential to improving operational coordination.
The theme for this conference is both timely and relevant to the demands of our operational environment. In today's dynamic security landscape, no command can operate effectively in isolation. Sustainable growth within the Ghana Immigration Service can only be achieved through strong collaboration, effective communication, mutual support, and a shared sense of purpose amongst all commands and controls. Strengthening this synergy will enhance operational coordination, improve accountability, and promote efficient service delivery.
In his keynote address, Minister for the Interior reiterated government's commitment to retooling the service, revealing that construction of 8 regional offices is underway to improve operations and provide a better working environment for personnel.
Under the level of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, retooling the security services is one of our main priorities since we came. And in the last 18 months, we'll vigorously embark on that. And for those of you who are in the northern, the 5 regions in the north, you are aware about the 45 ballistic carbines that have started. We started testing them, and I'm very optimistic that very soon we'll hand them over, and then for operational use. In fact, as it stands now, we have started using it together with the National Signal Bureau just to enhance the work that you've been doing.
The conference brings together regional and sector commanders to deliberate on leadership, border security, staff welfare, and strategies to strengthen command synergy for sustainable growth within the Ghana Immigration Service. Reporting for WoezorTV, Belinda Anankwanta.
Now the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has distributed 997 school decks to 8 public schools across the metropolis to improve teaching and learning. The decks funded through the District Assembly's Common Fund include mono, dual, and hexagonal designs and
chairs. And we have done that. So chairs. And we have done that. So we called our MPs so that we can present it for them to also give it to the chosen schools. And so this morning we are just here briefly to hand over to them, and we learned we have some office equipment too for the
Away from the AMA, 4 hospitals in northern Ghana have received 17 dialysis machines and other specialized medical equipment to improve access to kidney and gastrointestinal care. The equipment is donated by the Ghana Medical Help and its international partners under the Acute Kidney Care, which supports the Upper West Regional Hospital, St. Theresa Catholic Hospital, Busilan North Municipal Hospital, and War Memorial Hospital. Health officials said the donation will expand life-saving renal services, reduce long-distance travel for dialysis patients, and strengthen specialist care delivery in the region. Time now for some international news. Riots at a prison in western Sri Lanka have killed 26 people, 7 of them guards, and injured more than 100 people. The 2 days of violence at the Ngombo prison in a coastal town north of Colombo began with clashes between 2 groups of inmates. Prisoners are alleged to have grabbed guards' gun on Sunday. 2 people were killed that day with dozens injured. Later, groups of male prisoners and women from an adjoining unit climbed onto the prison rooftops, demanding to be released. Fresh violence erupted on Monday when inmates tried to push the prison gates. Security forces were deployed and multiple gunshots heard from the prison. The violence were reportedly triggered by a clash over an inmate informing on a drug trafficking operation inside. A total of 23 prison officers and 54 inmates are still receiving treatment, officials said. Now this brings us to the end of the WoezorTV report. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Karen Naoyokwoti.
Only a father can understand. Only a husband can understand. Only a man can understand. Prostate cancer. It's about more than fear of cancer. It's about fear of losing urinary control and sexual function. That's why more men turn to Jackson South for robotic surgery than anywhere else in South Florida. Get the facts at jacksonprostatefacts.org. Miracles made daily.
Gentlemen, I've got some bad news and some good news. Okay, the bad news is that your chances of getting prostate cancer are now just 7 to 1. In fact, prostate cancer is killing one man every single hour of the day in this country. Imagine that, one every hour of the day. But the good news is, we're forming a team to stop that clock. Men United. It's time men united together to fight prostate cancer, the way women have united against breast cancer. We need to get together and find a cure, as well as better ways to care for the 250,000 prostate cancer sufferers out there. Please, get on side and join us in the fight. Men United versus prostate cancer. We can win this.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor.
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
Welcome back to the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Time now for us to head into the sports segment. My name is Randy Ahaji. Let's start off with the news coming in from the camp of the Black Queens, away from the Black Stars. This time around, as the women prepare to enter into the AFCON competitions. It is now clear that head coach of the team, Kim Lars, has named the 27 player provisional squad for the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, also known as WAFCON, in Morocco. The squad features a blend of experienced and emerging talents drawn from clubs across the best leagues. Among the notable inclusions are Captain Portia Boachi, Grace Asantua, Princess Mafo, Alice Kusi, Evelyn Bedu, Stella Nyamiche, Jennifer Kujo, Chantel Boy Holoka, and Presla Adubia, all expected to play key roles in Ghana's campaign. Now, the provisional list also includes home-based players such as Cynthia Conlan, FC Samatex ladies, Osman Wuzilma, who plays for Ampem Dakwa ladies, also highlighting the continued presence of players from the Women's Premier League. Now, the Black Queens will soon resume campaign in readiness for the Women's African Cup of Nations. Ghana will compete in Group D, where they face Cape Verde on July 29, Cameroon on August 2, and Mali on August 6, with all 3 matches scheduled to be played at the Mole Rashid Stadium in Casablanca. So on the screen you have the list of the players that have been mentioned as far as the provisional 26-man squad is concerned for the Black Queens as they prepare for the WAFCON 2026 to be staged in Morocco. But let's move away from the Black Queens and quickly shift attention and talk about the FIFA World Cup. Just yesterday we saw an encounter between 2 neighbors, Portugal as well as Spain. It was a very thrilling encounter between these two, but it was goal from Arsenal's midfielder Mikel Merino that put things to an end in yesterday's encounter, as Mikel Merino scored that particular goal against Portugal to help his side Spain qualify to the quarterfinals of the ongoing FIFA World Cup. Cristiano Ronaldo on the other side has seen the last of the games after yesterday's defeat to the Spaniards. Ended 1-0, as I intimated. Mikel Merino was the man who got that 1-0 goal or result for the Spanish side in yesterday's round of 16 clash. So indeed, we will see Spain go into the quarterfinals of this year's World Cup, whereas the legend Cristiano Ronaldo will kiss the World Cup goodbye, which he did yesterday. But let's see, later today we have some encounters where Argentina, again another legend, will be in action tonight. Argentina plays against Egypt. That game comes off at 4 p.m. and trust WoezorTV, of course, will bring you all the updates and live coverage on that particular game. Later also we have Switzerland. They come up against Colombia. That game will be played later at 8 p.m. So today's games, we have Argentina versus Egypt, 4 p.m. Local time. Switzerland takes on Colombia. That game comes up at 8 p.m. Let's wrap it up with what we saw yesterday from the camp of President Donald Trump and also FIFA. A very unceremonious decision that was taken, quite surprising to a lot of people, because you have UEFA and some other football people speak against this particular decision. It has to do with the President of America, Donald J. Trump. He has confirmed he asked FIFA to review United States of America striker Folarin Balogun's one-match suspension at the World Cup. Balogun, who is 25 years, was set to miss his side's last 16 tie against Belgium, which was played yesterday, after being shown a straight red card for a foul on Bosnia-Herzegovina's defender Tariq in the previous round. But FIFA made the shock decision to suspend the automatic one-match ban for 12 months, leading to widespread criticism, including UEFA, Belgium, as well as England boss Thomas Tuchel. Let's listen to Trump on this particular one.
That wasn't even an infraction. That was two guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. You can't take your foot and properly place it on somebody else's foot when you're going. No, these were two great athletes that got tangled up, and this referee, who is a little bit suspect. If you check his past, I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy, but very suspect. If you'd like, I'll provide you with the past. He made a call that nobody could believe. You know, even people on the other side, they say, "Oh, we got lucky. Wow, that's." And it's very interesting. They say they don't show them in slow motion, and I never realized that. I never heard of that before. That they're not allowed to review in slow motion because it's so different. Because you'll take one little quarter of a second and you'll see that a hand is touching a neck, or you see something.
Well, so this conversation will linger on. The debate will continue in your homes and in your offices and wherever you find yourself. Good decision taken by FIFA. Were they under any sort of pressure from the President of the United States of America? But what is the way forward? Questions about fairness in the game popped up along the line. Well, maybe after the tournament itself, proper assessment will be done for corrections to be made ahead of the next encounter. And that's by way of sports this morning. My name is Randy Haji. The WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe continues after the break.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke. Because you know what you feel on the inside isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy, find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself, find someone you trust and tell them. You are never alone when you share.
Seriously, people care about you. It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be. You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister. Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone. It's how things get better.
The world's biggest football festival is here, and Ghana is watching together. This June, the Ghana TV Consortium brings you the FIFA World Cup 2026 live and free to air on GTV, Joy Prime, GTV Sports Plus, Adum TV, WoezorTV, Metro TV, UTV, Original TV, Garden City TV, Obono TV, GH1 TV, Ago TV, Onya TV, TV3, Max TV, and Sporty TV. 3 host countries, 48 teams, 1 unforgettable tournament. Follow every moment of the Ghana Black Stars journey, every rivalry, every goal, and every celebration. Enjoy crystal clear high-definition broadcast with expert local analysis and the passion only Ghanaian broadcasters can deliver. From the opening whistle to the crowning of champions, your football home is right here. The FIFA World Cup 2026. One nation, one consortium. Ghana TV Consortium, bringing you the best of the World Cup. Brought to you by SportyBet, Star Oil, MTN, Pepsodent, Kivo, Polytech, Lavance Tomato Mix, and Heaven Insecticide Spray.
Welcome back from the quick break. You're still watching the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. I am Evergreen Asanto, and this is the entertainment update. Now let's look at today's headlines. And Osas Ighodaro makes Bollywood debut, and Burna Boy waves Ghana flag at Afro Nation Portugal. Davido turns World Cup performance into humanitarian message. Harry Styles set Guinness World Record at Wembley. And now to the details of these stories. Nollywood actress and media personality Osas Ighodaro has reached a new international milestone after making her Bollywood debut. The move places the award-winning actress in one of the world's largest film industries and has been welcomed by fans as a major moment for Nigerian and African cinema. Beyond the personal achievement, Osas Ighodaro's entry into Bollywood highlights the growing demand for African talent and stories across global film industries. As more actors work across borders, they are creating opportunities for stronger cultural exchange between Africa and the rest of the world. Her latest movie is another reminder that Nollywood talent is increasingly finding a place on international screens.
Can't be true. This is true now. This is true. And in return for this, what does she?
51% of the Mera exports.
What?
I, Zara Ogun, CEO of Ogun Fashion.
So this movie is titled Imported Bahu, and it was premiered on the 2nd of July to be specific, which is just a few days ago. So if you want something new, something fresh to add to your movie list, this is the movie that you are looking at.
And yeah, it is not your usual kind of a movie, absolutely. And I think that I need to have a conversation with Osas because I just want to know her experience on set, right? We always watch these Bollywood movies and we are always talking about how they are dancing and how they try to romanticize every scene and they are always dancing. So did she practice? Did she learn? How was it? Like, you know, is it actually just like we see on TV, or there are some, you know, edits and cuts and then what have you? I'm so interested in that, and I'm also excited and happy for her because why not? These are some of the things that I always say that we love to see, and this is actually well deserved. I mean, we know Osas, she's been working so hard. So once again, I am super excited for her. So I've told you the title or the name of the movie, which is Imported Bahu. And if you want to watch it, it is available in cinemas. And for those of you, you know, I always call you out, right? You know where to find the movies. But I always say that it is good to go to the cinema, pay for it, enjoy it, okay? You don't always go to the cinema. So once in a while, just go there, watch a movie, and then have the experience, the cinema experience. Now, away from that, let's talk about Burna Boy, and he also did something unusual. There is a Nigerian flag. I don't know if he got lost, he got confused, or there's a whole twist and turn to it. But Nigerian Afrobeat star Burna Boy has won praises from Ghanaian fans after waving a giant Ghana flag during his performance at Afro Nation Portugal. Videos from the festival show the singer holding the flag high while delivering an energetic set before a massive international crowd. The gesture quickly sparked reactions online, with many fans describing it as a sign of the strong cultural connection between Ghana and Nigeria. Now, beyond the viral movement, it reflects the shared audience and influence that continue to link the two countries through. And also at one of Africa's biggest global music festivals, Burna Boy's Ghana flag movement became a simple but powerful show of regional unity. So yes, this is what happened in Portugal. And a lot of people were confused. I mean, the Nigerians, they always come for us, they always fight with the Ghanaians, but it still doesn't take away the fact that Ghana jollof is better than that of the Nigerian jollof, period. Because, I mean, we're not talking about jollof here, but why is he holding a Ghana flag when there's a Nigerian flag? Can somebody explain? Maybe Bella needs to do it. Like, he needs to tweet about it. He needs to tell us what informed this. But I'm also excited to see it because why not, right? And the Nigerians on Twitter, they just made the whole thing interesting. And if you read some of the tweets, you just be sitting and then just be laughing. But it's actually interesting, and kudos going out to him for doing this. These are some of the things that we love to see. But that is Burna also. Then recently people were calling him out for buying a car for himself. But he says that if he wants to do it, why can't he do it? You people, that highway streets on Twitter can sometimes be confusing sometimes anyway. But let's move away from that, and also let's talk about something unique that was done by Afrobeat musician Davido, and he says that he used his performance at the opening ceremony of the 2026 FIFA World Cup to draw global attention to the kidnapping crisis in Nigeria. The singer wore a customized jacket carrying the names of missing pupils and teachers from Oyo State, using one of the world's biggest sporting stages to keep their situation in public view. Speaking to BBC Africa, Davido said protecting a country's image should never come before the safety of children. His decision highlights the growing role of artists as public voices during humanitarian crisis. And beyond entertainment, Davido's message shows how global platforms can be used to bring attention to people whose stories may otherwise go unheard. So this is an interview that happened between BBC Africa and Afrobeat musician Davido, where he was talking about why he wore this jacket. And you know, when he wore it and then it popped up on social media, we're all talking about it. We're like, okay, this is something good to do. But you know, the question is, after this, what next? With what is currently happening in Nigeria, I don't think it's just a conversation that needs to be had like within a short period of time, because a lot is happening in Nigeria and it's quite unfortunate, right? But I just hope that the authorities or the people in higher places, they are trying to do something about it, because the things we're seeing on social media, it's just so appalling. It's just quite unfortunate, I keep saying. But in this situation, sometimes you can only cry, right? But I also love the fact that these celebrities, these people who have the public attention, are trying to also raise awareness. They are trying to put the country out there for people to know what is actually happening in there and what they are going through. You know what? I'll just leave it at that. But I just hope that our Nigerian brothers and sisters, they are trying to keep safe as possible as they can. And hopefully things get better in Nigeria. Now, some international stories, and Harry Styles has set a new Guinness World Record after completing 12 sold-out concerts at Wembley Stadium in London. Now, the achievement makes him the musician with the longest single-run residency at the venue, surpassing Coldplay's previous record of 10 nights. Now, the final show drew about 80,000 fans, with Styles using the moment to reflect on the role he come out since, you know, he parted ways. They are always there, coming together, coming to support him. See, if you have a huge and supportive, in fact, the word should be loyal fan base, no matter what, no matter where, they will still come all out with their full chest just to come and show you love and also support you. So I love fans. I always say I love fans who love their public figures or celebrities. So kudos going out to you, Harry Styles, on this, and I'm happy for you, and I'm hoping that the remaining tours, which is in Brazil, Mexico, United States, and also that of Australia, it goes well and just better also, in fact even more better, right, than this one. So this is where we end today's entertainment update here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. I am Evergreen Asanto. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Tune Talk comes your way at exactly 2 o'clock p.m. We talk the tune and we live the vibe. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, next one. Sit down. Look to camera.
This is what it looks like to be exceptional, to stand out from the crowd, to make history. But what if women didn't have to be exceptional? What if they didn't have to be the first, the best, or the only woman? What if being a female engineer wasn't remarkable? What if women and men could compete as equals? I don't want to make history. I don't want to be the only woman. I want to be one of many.
All right, thank you for still staying with us here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. My name is Eura Adams Karim, and just as I mentioned earlier, we have a conversation this morning centered on migration, particularly for young people. We've couched it as youth migration risk in the shadow of South Africa's xenophobia crisis, and we just want to delve into what would usually inform young people to want to leave Ghana to go to other parts of the world for whatever reason, and what are the risks involved in taking these journeys or these steps, especially if you take them illegally or take them without the necessary documentation. My guest in studio is Banasco Seydou Nuhu. He is the executive director of NASCO Feeding Minds. He's also the CEO of NASCO Tech, and basically what Banasco does with his organization is to provide young people, particularly in the northern part of our country, with employable skills, especially in IT, in information technology, in coding, in AI, just to serve as a way of preventing young people from leaving Ghana to go seek greener pastures abroad, but rather empower them here in Ghana so that they too can become employable, live in Ghana, work abroad, and earn in foreign currencies. Beyond that, they also have many other development projects, especially for women in agribusiness, beekeeping. But that's information I'm going to allow him give to us to try to find out what informed their decision as an organization to target migration in particular and all of that. Banasco, it's a pleasure having you in the studio. Thank you for coming.
Pleasure always.
What did you bring from America?
Well, we were able to send off the Alidis goods in a nice style.
Interesting. Charlie, you look at what's happening in South Africa now. It's become a very worrying situation that you have so many people under attack. South Africans are claiming that they're living in their country illegally. Of course, South Africa has decided to take a very hard route by allowing citizens to, but it's a complaint that generally comes up. The US, talks about it. Ghanaian citizens are there illegally, blah blah. In other parts of the world, what would really inform young people to just get up one day and pack their bags and decide to go to another country without the right documentation?
Right. Thank you very much, Karim, and thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts on this very important topic. It's very important also because as you introduced me, it's also important to highlight that our interventions or our organization, what we do, it's anchored on our personal stories. When I say our personal stories, my senior brother who lives in Barcelona did the same journey, right? He did that perilous journey crossing the Sahara, the Mediterranean, and arriving in Spain, like many young people have done in Ghana. Now, narrating his ordeal through the journeys was a very reason why we decided to start our organization, NASCO Feeding Minds, and like you did explain, where we're looking at empowering young people to acquire the skills needed to participate fully in the 21st century, and not necessarily telling young people not to travel, but also telling young people that to travel, you need to go through the right route and you need to have the skills needed to be employable when you arrive. I think mainly, if you look at what is happening across the globe, has always never been the issue of skilled people migrating. Every country, in fact, most countries are very intentional about attracting very skilled people, very intentional about attracting specific kind of people that they believe that would effectively support the growth of their economies. If we want to be very specific, we can talk about the US visa lottery. Now, it's one of the programs that has been designed to consciously identify specific people that the US government believes that when they arrive in the US, they will be of great asset to their economies. And if you look at what's happening in the US, a lot of the people currently in the US, including Elon Musk, is originally not from the US. We all know that he went from South Africa. So it's not about, today Trump has been talking about sacking people. Of course, Elon Musk has legal statuses and all that. But the point is that there are people who are a burden to the countries and people who are, if you like, the state is benefiting from them. So when these conversations comes up, it's usually about those that are burdens to the countries of destination and not people who are contributing for the growth of their economies. So it's unfortunate that we have been talking about these things over the years. It's unfortunate that these things are happening. And it's happening just because, one, the people migrating do not possess significant or important skills that way they are going to contribute meaningfully. They have not arrived through a legal means. And a lot of the time is also because the dangers have always been known, but these young people will still go because a lot of them, unfortunately, have lost faith in their governments. A lot of them have lost faith in the ability to grow in their home countries, and all they search out to do is to seek for greener pastures or to look for opportunities in other countries.
Absolutely. But Asko, hold on, I'll come back to you. We have Jones Amegashi Viglo. He's also joined us this morning. He's the Executive Director for Youth Impact Movement. Jones, good morning and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, and also to your cherished listeners. I'm glad to be here.
Just had a first bite with Banasco, where he's of course walked us through what would largely inform young people to migrate, leave one country and go to another country, largely driven by seeking greener pastures and all of that. He's also given us a perspective where most countries definitely make a certain amount of arrangement for young people to be able to come to their country if they're skilled and have the requisite potentials or skills that are needed, and these are people who would usually be well documented to be able to travel. But let's look at issues of the risks involved when young people decide to take this journey without having the necessary documentation. What are some of the risks that they are averse to?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. As a matter of fact, young people succumb to consequences of going into countries without the necessary permissions. And as a matter of fact, you and I know that every country is very intentional about how it manages their immigration laws and then all those. When, as a young person, you enter a country without the permissions, permits, visa, and all relevant documents, you would have to run away from the law in order in that country. Because when they catch you, they'll first substantiate that you don't have all documentations to be in their country, and then they'll deport you. And when they deport you, you are being put on a blacklist. You will not be allowed to come to their country again. Some of the risks. Secondly, looking at the circumstances of the attack, when young people are there without permission, the law in that country cannot protect them from such attacks. Because after all, you have not obtained permission to be in our country. When violence are happening in the country, our law cannot protect you. So it is very important that we acquire all necessary documentation before we go to someone else's country. In our own country, it is our home. For instance, I've built my house, I've taken the relevant permissions, and I don't think I'll have to pay rent to be in my own house. But when I am in a rented apartment, I have to pay my rent, and apart from that, I would have to pay electricity bill and water bill, and then all the agreements or tenant agreements. And it is same when you go to other countries as well. You could be as visionary as possible, but when you have not been invited to come into someone's home, you would have to hide, whether you hide in the attic or not. So for what is happening right now, unfortunately, it is not only affecting people without relevant documentation in South Africa. So the xenophobic attack is more South Africans sacking people because they feel they should not be in their country. They are taking their jobs and all those. Regardless of the fact that you have documentation or not, they would actually attack you. But at the end of the day, if you have the documentation, their laws and their country or government is supposed to what? Protect you from this violence. And that is the difference. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Banasco, let me come back to you. You've mentioned that your brother, has a lived experience, having left Ghana through the Sahara all the way into Spain or Barcelona, where he now lives. But I mean, how was that experience of his informed? How he's able to pass the message down to other young people? Perhaps he's been able to go through it and be successful at it. He's an author now and all of that. But don't you think that in itself also serves as motivation for other people who may want to take a similar route? And how do we prevent other young people from taking the same step based on the success stories that they have had?
Right. Thank you. So I agree with you 100%. It's very difficult to tell people that it is dangerous, don't go. It is not right, don't go. And I believe that that message has been trumpeted so many times, and it does not resonate with any young person anymore. I say this because I don't remember which year, but there was a documentary CNN did when the issue of the slavery, was it in Libya, came up, where we were told that they had taken some migrants into slavery in Libya. And the CNN went back to Nigeria to do a documentation where they interviewed a lot of young people as to why they still undertake that journey, even though they are now aware. In fact, those days people could say that they were not aware, they didn't know what the dangers were, but because of social media and technology now, every now and then we hear about the number of people dying in the Mediterranean and all that. So they were asked why they still go. And I remember one of the respondents did say that, yes, they have heard about the dangers, they have heard about the deaths, but, and they use, of course, their Nigeria word, that his personal chi, which means that his personal gods or his destiny. So if a person A goes onto the boat and dies, it is not his destiny to also go onto the boat and die. So he still believes that when he goes, he will arrive and he will be successful. So the message has gone beyond telling people, don't go, these are the dangers, to enlightening people that, yes, migration is a good thing. Nobody has ever said it's not a good thing. But the means, how do you go? Do you go through the legal means or the irregular means? Do you go as a skilled labor or as an unskilled labor? And my co-panelist was talking about some of the dangers. And indeed, the dangers, you would agree with me, that are usually limited to the unskilled labor that arrives. Now, you arrive unskilled, and even before you arrive, a lot of them are usually subjected to various forms of violence based on your gender. A lot of the time, the men are usually physically abused. A lot of the time, the men are usually taken into detention. And unfortunately for the females, they are usually sexually abused and harassed. Now, you equally arrive there, and because you are skilled, you are unskilled, you are exploited, you are not paid the right wages. So you arrive with so much expectations, and you also get to face social exclusion because now you are now trying to integrate. People do not want you close to their circles because the citizens of those countries think that, one, you are coming to burden their public services. They think that you are coming to, and not only taking their work, there's another aspect of it that we have not highlighted enough. Because you arrive and you are desperate and you are not skilled, you take up any work in the construction or any of the menial works, and you accept any wage that they give you, which is ordinarily the citizen will not take. So if, for example, I am Ghanaian and I'm looking for a laborer to go and clean my house, and I go to get the Ghanaian who will charge me 1,000 cedis to clean it, and maybe a foreigner says he would take 300 or 400 to clean it, I'll end up giving the work to the foreigner because, of course, I would want to pay less. So the issue of taking up people's jobs is not just only about replacing them, but also reducing the wages that ordinarily people would take. So in the case of my brother, like I did say, yes, he also did do the same thing. He faced all those difficulties, but it's always one in a million story where he arrives. He also stays on the street. He also struggles, but gradually he becomes one of the few lucky ones who gets through to do something good for himself. And I mean, for us, that's why we have also decided that, okay, we are not just coming to say don't go, but how do we narrate his story such that we also offer opportunities to young people, opportunities that he didn't have that informed his going. Now, where opportunities here means that we are offering trainings. We are offering digital skills trainings to young people. We are offering various economic support initiatives to women and young girls. So that even if you get to go, I mean, there's a very interesting story to which I'll end with, or let me even just say it before I continue. Now, one of the boys that we have trained, and as you already know, we have our office here in Accra. After training, we get our young ones, those who are successful, those we employ them eventually, and we get them to work for Spanish companies. Now, one of our boys who have been working with us for more than 3 years recently got a job with one of the international agencies, and as I speak with you, he's in Rome right now.
Wow.
Now, he got a job from Ghana. He's been working with us, and he has a very good profile. Now, a good profile because he's working for one of the very big banks in Spain, Banco Santander, whilst he sits in our office in Accra. Now, with that profile, a smart student and all the experiences that he has gained working with us, he puts in that application, he gets accepted. He sent a contract. He sent every document that he needs. He makes his visa applications. He gets there holding his residence permit. So that is what we are. We are telling our young people that yes, if you want to travel through the right means. If you want to go to study in Europe or in the Americas, get your admissions, prepare your documentation, and arrive as a student. So I mean, in the case of my brother, like we're saying, yes, he arrived, and because of one of those very few success stories, it tends to motivate a lot of young people to want to go there. So we are not just coming to tell people don't go, because others might even just say that you have been there, you have been successful, and they forget about the many other people who were not successful, and you have come back to tell us not to go. So we are not saying that yes, don't go, but we are also giving you a reason why you should stay. We are not just saying don't go, we are giving you a reason to stay. We are giving you a pathway to growth. We are giving you a pathway to opportunity. We are giving you a pathway to success. And eventually, once you undertake you journey with us through that pathway, you can always migrate in a very legal framework.
Jonas, let me come back to you and take what your message would be to young people who are sitting down and are contemplating embarking on similar trips, hoping to land in other parts of the world to see greener pastures.
Yes, thank you very much, and all cherished listeners. As a matter of fact, I agree with my brother in terms that there's nothing wrong going outside of your home country to see greener pastures. But the question always arises that, can you also not make the best out of your home country? Always safer in your country. I'm not in any way discouraging traveling outside. But the issue is that if you are seeking greener pastures elsewhere, you could equally make your home country a paradise for other people to come. For me, I am a proud Ghanaian, and I do not wish to go and live in anyone's country and develop their country, because I want my country to be better. But if they want to go, they have to go through the right means. Because if you do not, for instance, taking the xenophobic attack in South Africa, their country or their government will be able to protect you if you enter through the wrong means. As I stated earlier on, if you enter without the right permits, their government is in no way obligated to protect you. But if you go to other countries, for instance, there are some countries, as stated, like the load the USA has been given. They are looking to help them build their country. And if that is what you want, you just have to go there the right way and manage yourself. But you see, we have always forgotten about the fact that when people go out of the country and they die, they are brought to be buried in our homeland. They are always brought back home to be buried. And they are always brought back home to be buried. Why is it that they couldn't have buried them there? It's only in very minuscule circumstances. But as a matter of fact, I want to encourage the youth to build. There is no one else who is going to build our country other than ourselves. When you expect foreigners to come and build your country for you, you'll be paid by all these loans and whatsoever obligations you have to give to their home country. So I encourage my youth to be in their country and build their country, their homes, community service. Want to go for leadership, build and do it with genuine mind for the fact that in the future, your generations and whatsoever is in the country would know that we are doing this for greater good. They can go if they want, but I am for Ghana. Let us stay home and build our country. I'm not being xenophobic in any other or in even the Mesoting, but I believe that if your house is fine, you didn't have to go to someone else's house to go and eat. So that is my belief, and I want to encourage the youth to be home and build their country so that their country will also be desired by others to come and stay in. Thank you very much.
You as well on the same subject.
Right. So I would want to conclude on a note that we need to be very intentional about this problem as a country. There was a study done a couple of years ago which suggested that many young people on the streets of Accra and other cities in the country generally believe that they will make a better life when they travel out. What it means is that not so many people believe, not so many young people believe that they are able to make a better life staying in their own country. It's very unfortunate, but it's very serious. And I think that various factors have contributed to this. It's also just because young people struggle so much to have access to basic opportunities. Let me give an example. As you said in the opening comments, because I have had opportunities to travel around a bit, because young people just see you in the US recently on the FIFA program, you receive a lot of messages. Boss, I want to travel. Boss, I want to do this. Boss, how can you get me to travel? And I'm sure because, Karim, you have an opportunity to even sit on TV, people think you are influential. Common police, prisons, fire service forms, people start sending them to you. Why? Because everyone believes that until you reach out to somebody to help you, you cannot genuinely go through the process. And these are some of the obstacles that unfortunately over the years we have built for ourselves as a people. And I think that leadership and successive governments need to do better to give assurances to the young people, to show commitment to the young people that yes, indeed, we are conscious about your situation and we are working deliberately to make your situation better. I think that is the only reason that will make young people re-establish excitement and re-establish confidence in growing in the country. Because, I mean, once they leave, now our agricultural sector is declining because the workforce that would have stayed and worked in the fields are either even coming to Accra or they are also trying to get out of the country. So we are losing a lot of workforce. The skilled, talented people we have, all our doctors and nurses, we've been told they are leaving because why? They think that they can have better conditions of service out there. So we are losing a lot of our skilled labor and a lot of our, and like we popularly call it a brain drain, right? So I think that it's a collective responsibility, and for us as private people, for us as people in the private sector, we can do our best. And as I did say, if you permit me to show, so for example, this is one of the programs that we run. You see NASCO Code Academy. Yeah. Now, it's a NASCO Code Academy. It's one of the programs that we have designed intentionally to support our young people with digital literacy skills so that they can acquire knowledge, they can acquire skills that would allow them to participate favorably in the 21st century. And like I did give the examples about how we have over the years been able to undertake these training programs. So, I mean, it just means that government should be conscious about what kind of skills, what kind of support systems do these young people. I mean, I must say that we have seen a lot of programs that governments over the years have ruled out, but I think that the implementation of them, the partnership with private sector entities would very much put our young people in a position where their energies will be rejuvenated, their excitement and their commitment would be back home. And I believe that collectively we are able to make our country a better place. I believe that we have the energy, we have the young people. I mean, we are blessed because, I mean, Africa, and for that matter, Ghana, has a lot of young people, not like in other countries. Like now, for example, the Spanish government says they're going to give residencies to about 500,000 people. And we have even Ghanaians, the number of Ghanaians alone that have applied. So it just means that they are taking away all our young people. So if we are not conscious about retaining our young people, we might lose all our young people. And I don't think that we'll be getting there. So, I mean, collectively, governments, us as young people, and again, us as private sector people, I think that we have a collective responsibility to work together to provide better opportunities for our young people so that we do not face some of these xenophobic attacks in the future.
All right, very interesting, profound statements there from Banasco Zedino, who is Executive Director for NASCO Feeding Minds. Our other guest this morning was Jones Amegashi Viglo. He's Executive Director for Youth Impact Movement. At this point, we'll have to make way for another conversation coming up next on the show. But Banasco, thank you so much, and thank you as well, Jones, for making time. So viewers, stay with us. There's more after this break. We'll be right back.
Good morning, lovely viewers. It feels good to be back here again on the well-being segment on WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. My name is Stephanie Nakoshi Blankson. Today we are going to talk about the importance of medical screening, a simple but powerful step towards protecting your health. Medical screening is simply checking your health even if you feel perfectly fine. Many serious conditions such as hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, sexually transmitted infections, and some cancers may develop silently without early warning signs. By the time symptoms appear, some complications such as stroke, heart disease, infertility, kidney failure, and sudden death may already have occurred. That is why early detection is so important. Routine screening should include checking your blood pressure to prevent the dangers of hypertension, testing your blood sugar to detect diabetes early, and assessing your cholesterol level to prevent the risks of heart attacks and strokes. It is also essential for everyone who is sexually active to screen for STIs such as HIV, hepatitis B, and syphilis, because most of these symptoms do not show up early but can cause a long-term damage if untreated. It is also important to know your blood group and genotype. Knowing your blood group may be crucial in case of emergencies requiring for blood transfusion, and knowing your genotype before marriage helps prevent the risks of sickle cell disease in children. Women should undergo cervical and breast cancer screening, while men above 40 should consider prostate checks. And everyone should monitor their weight, know your kidney and liver function, dental health, vision, and even mental well-being. Medical screening is not about fear, it's about responsibility and prevention. Early detection saves money, prevents complication, and most importantly, saves lives. Do not wait until you feel sick before visiting the hospital. Take charge of your health now. Stay informed, stay proactive, and stay healthy. This has been the Wellbeing segment on WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. My name is Stephanie Nakoshi Langston. Thank you.
The world's biggest football festival is here, and Ghana is watching together. This June, the Ghana TV Consortium brings you the FIFA World Cup 2026 live and free to air on GTV, Joy Prime, GTV Sports Plus, Adum TV, WoezorTV, Metro TV, UTV, Original TV, Garden City TV, Obono TV, GH1 TV, Ago TV, Onya TV, TV3, Max TV, and Sporty TV. 3 host countries, 48 teams, 1 unforgettable tournament. Follow every moment of the Ghana Black Stars journey, every rivalry, every goal, and every celebration. Enjoy crystal clear high-definition broadcast with expert local analysis and the passion only Ghanaian broadcasters can deliver. From the opening whistle to the crowning of champions, your football home is right here. The FIFA World Cup 2026. One nation, one consortium. Ghana TV Consortium, bringing you the best of the World Cup. Brought to you by SportyBet, Star Oil, MTN, Pepsodent, Kivo, Polytech, Lavance Tomato Mix, and Heaven Insecticide Spray.
Welcome back to the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe, and yes, we make way for our second conversation this morning here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Just as the song was playing, you should know where we are headed towards this morning. Let's go to church a little today before we wrap up on the show. It's that time of the year again where Stand in the Gap comes. We've moved from January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We are in the middle of the year and we need to go back to God in submission. And so yes, Stand in the Gap 2026 is here. But I won't be the right person to tell you about Stand in the Gap. And so to help me educate you and let you know what's going on in town this morning on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe, I have in here Pastor Andrew Anane and Pastor Howard of the Empowerment Worship Center here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great having you here.
Same here, Karen. Same here.
Man, it's great having you after a long year.
Yeah.
You're back.
We're back.
Yeah. But Pastor Andrew, let me start with you. Stand in the Gap. When we say Stand in the Gap, to our viewers watching who do not know what Stand in the Gap is, tell us.
Oh, okay. So Stand in the Gap, I'll just give you the history or back of Stand in the Gap. So Stand in the Gap, it started in 2016, which was birthed from the place of a prayer to our global lead pastor, Pastor Gideon Dan, so that God laid on his heart that it was about time that there's a call for prayer for people, all denomination, regardless of your religion. And you know, prayer is universal. So regardless of the religion that you belong to, everyone believes in prayer. And so it was a call to prayer for people. To continue in their prayer life. So from then on, which was the first one, 2016, and our lives have been transformed from the place of prayer. We've seen how people's lives are changed because as Christians, prayer is like an oxygen. The same way that the oxygen is to the human body, that's the same way that prayer is to us. So you can't do without prayer. So standing in gap at that time of prayer, where we shut in to seek the face of God, to humble ourselves. The Bible says, 2 Chronicles 7:14, that if my people who are called by my name, they shall humble themselves and they shall pray. And so standing in a gap is that moment whereby we humble ourselves to seek the face of God, to hear what God has in store for us, for instruction, for direction, for clarity, for the next half of the year. Because like you said, we started the year from January and all of that. There's a lot of things that we do and all of that. I get to a time whereby we need to sit and we need to wait on God to hear from God where that He ought for us to be. So that is where standing in gap comes in, to empower people, their prayer life, to draw people closer to God. And Hosea says that, come and let us return to the Lord. So standing in a gap is also that time whereby we return to the Lord, because the busyness of January, February and all of that, it comes a time whereby we ought to return to the Lord. So that's where standing a gap is. And always it has been 48 hours, but then this year the time has been increased to 72 hours of non-stop prayer.
Right. And I look forward to that 72 hours of non-stop prayer. Let's take a quick jiffy. We'll be right back.
To stand in a gap, 48 hours of non-stop prayer, 2025. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Where are the waiters? 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 As we tarry for 48 hours, your God will move. Your God will show up. Your God will move. How many of you are trusting God to move? In intercession, repetition is allowed. Now, if repetition is not allowed, like Jesus would be at fault when he prayed the same prayer 3 times. Let thy will be done. Take this cup away from me 3 times. Jesus said, what is not allowed? Vain repetition. So there's something called vain repetition and urgent repetition. It is urgent repetition that God approves of. But vain repetition is what is disallowed.
Are you ready to pray? Oh, I said, are you ready to pray? The water cannot dampen our fire. No circumstance can dampen our fire. We declare that that anointing is from our inside. He said that the same spirit that raised up Jesus from the dead is dwelling in you.
Welcome to stand in a gap, 48 hours of non-stop prayer, 2025. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. strength? Where are the waiters? 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 As we tarry for 48 hours, your God will move. Your God will show up. Your God will move.
You're welcome back to the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe, and it's still the conversation on Stand in the Gap 2026. Here with me in studios, I have Pastor John Howard and Pastor Andrew Anane. And so, yeah, Pastor Andrew earlier gave us the background and the history behind Stand in the Gap and how long it's come from 2016 up until now. So let me get to Pastor Howard here. This year, Stand in the Gap. What's the theme we are using for this year's Stand in the Gap?
Right. So this year's theme for the conference is Revive Thy Works.
Okay.
I mean, the Bible says in Isaiah that it says return to us, and then you revive thy works in the midst of the years. Like my mother said, I mean, prayer is universal, but prayer is also multifunctional. There are a lot of things that happens through prayer, and one thing we should know is that the instance of prayer is not by man, it's by God. If God didn't create a channel of prayer, there's no way we can engage God in prayer in the first place. And so through prayer, God gets to work with us. And this year, the theme for the year is Revive Thy Works. There are times when we've prayed to petition God, to ask Him to do things for us. We've prayed to supplicate to God. But there are times when God Himself wants to do a work in our lives. And in this year, we are asking God that He should arise and revive His works in the midst of the years. He should arise and revive His works. Now, the Bible says that there's a path that seemeth right unto man, but only God's counsel shall stand. And so the theme for this year is that in all that we are praying and asking God for, let God Himself arise and let Him revive His works of miracles, His works of His glory, His works of the supernatural, His works of whatever He wants to do, that He will do it. And that the mountains will shake before Him, and that men may know that indeed He's the God that rules in the affairs of man. And that is why this year there's no reason to miss out, because maybe you may say, oh, there's something I'm believing God for, I already have it, so I'm not going to come. But this year the prayer topic is not you, it is God Himself who wants to encounter us and revive His works in our lives, in the years, in the city, in the nations. And so the theme for the year, Revive Thy Works.
Wow, I'm already getting in already, and I pray that this year I'm able to make it to Stand in the Gap 2026. Pastor Andrew has a history with me. Pastor Andrew, that's not me, it. But this year's Stand in the Gap, over the years I've known it's been 48 hours, in fact you mentioned it. But this year there's a step further. Why?
Yeah, so you know the Bible says in James 5:17 that the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. And so if we are trusting God for much, and it means that we have to spend some time in His presence, we have to give God time to do the work that He wants to do in our life. And it's not solely about the time that is thereof, but it's about the person that we are seeking His face. And so not for us to boast about the 72 hours, but that in that 72 hours we are seeing God, as the Bible says, that as we beheld His glory, we are transformed and we are transfigured. And so we are spending that 72 hours, and that 72 hours is also the 3 days that Jesus arose. And the theme for the conference is that Revive Thy Works, and we are trusting God that within the 72 hours, whatever that has been dead in our lives, God Himself, He will revive it, be it our career, our marriage, our relationship, the work of our hands, be it our academics, anything that needs that. And the reason why it is very, very important for God to revive His works in our life is because after the fall of man, there was a separation. So then we took things into our own hands. But in this 72 hours, we are coming back to God, that He Himself, He started the work in us, as Ephesians says that we are His workmanship. And so if we are His workmanship, then we need Him for Him to revive the work that He had already started in us. That is why the 72 hours of non-stop prayer. So that 72 hours is for 3 days that there will be revival, 3 days that things that have been dead, it will be restored, it will be resurrected. Dead things will come back to life in that 72 hours of non-stop prayer.
Right. So when is this happening and where?
Oh, okay, so it's happening at Jolo, the prayer factory next to the Allied Heights. Sorry, next to the Allied Heights, and it's this very Thursday, not next week, please. Okay. It's this very Thursday at 6 p.m. The flight takes off at 6 p.m. There will be a lift off of prayer, deep intercession, worship, and by God's grace, amazing men and women of God are coming. Some people are flying all the way from New Jersey, London. People are flying all the way from Nigeria, all over the world to just come and experience the glory of God as this year stand in the gap. Apostle Ben Doko will be there, Reverend Dr. Ampia Kofi will be there, Uncle Ato, Joe Metal, Pastor Nathaniel Bassi, Victor Orenzi, Sumi Sonla, and Pastor William McDowell, and of course the host and the convener, Prophet Gideon Danso himself, will be leading the church. So if you're waiting for a time that you felt your prayer life has gone down, that you needed an encounter from the Lord, this is that moment, this Thursday from 6 p.m. through to Sunday. So the prayer doesn't stop. We don't close. Once you come, you are staying through to Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Once you can, you're not going anywhere. Like there's no break. So from Thursday to Sunday. By the time you leave the night, just say, hallelujah, somebody. Pastor John, let me ask you this. So for anyone watching us who has lost hope, who thinks, Charlie, whatever will happen should happen, we are tired, what do you have to tell the person with regards to standing the gap?
First of all, standing the gap is a call by God himself. It is God who said in Ezekiel that he sought for a man to stand in the gap and build a hedge. It's God who's seeking a man. And we all know that God's a God of purpose. Everything God does is a reason for it. And that reason is always for good. The Bible says, for any thought I think towards you, the thought of good and to give a future and a hope. So if God is calling you for a gathering like this of prayer, 72 hours of non-stop prayer, there's a reason for that. And the power of prayer is that prayer is multifunctional. Prayer ministers to your soul, ministers to your spirit, ministers to your body. So wherever you, our Bible says, be anxious for nothing, but in all things with prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving. So for the one that is anxious, that is hopeless, that is tired, that is almost becoming weak, your antidote is prayer. You've tried all manner of antidepressants, you've tried all manner of prescriptions, it hasn't worked. But the one that will work is prayer, because there's a spirit in man, and by the inspiration of the Almighty, it gives that man understanding. And in prayer, we get to have an encounter, we get to have an intimate, we get to have an experience with God. And there's nobody that experiences God and remains as they were. And so I want to encourage you. The good part about standing gap is that beyond you coming to pray, you are also being taught and imparted how to pray. And so wherever you are, if you cannot pray, you don't know how to pray, you struggle to pray, where you have to be is at standing the gap. You're going to be baptized, you're going to be empowered to know and learn and understand what prayer is about. I mean, people pray amiss, but at stand the gap, you get to learn how Bible says is the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous that availeth much. And at stand the gap, we pray effectual prayers that are fervent. So join us. Don't be discouraged. Don't stay on discouragement. Come to God. Even the scripture that is the theme for the conference, Habakkuk 2:3. When you read the scripture, you realize that it was a time of discouragement. It was a time where all hope was lost, nothing was going on. And then the prophet Habakkuk realized that no, the only thing we need to do is to call on God. When we call on God for him to revive his works in our lives, things will come back to normal. And so, invited, join us, and you will tell me the testimony.
Right, you are invited, join them. As we were speaking, that's one word that came to mind. Said, "Come, all you who are tired and heavily laden, and I'll give you rest." The antidote is prayer. Do not miss this. 9th to 12th of July at the Prayer Factory Empowerment Worship Center, closer to the Allied Heights. I believe please do not miss it. Come, let's get logged in. It's a shutdown for us, lockdown complete. Let's come and seek the face of God as he revives his works in our lives. Thank you so much, Pastor Andrew Anani.
you so much.
Pastor
God bless
John
you.
Howard.
It's been a pleasure.
Amen.
Thank you, Karen.
Amen.
We can't
Someone
wait to
say
see
God
you.
bless you. Hallelujah.
We can't wait to see you and the crew.
I'll be coming. We'll be coming in our numbers. And so, viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe from 7 up to now. We'll come your way again tomorrow with another exciting episode. Keep your dials here on WoezorTV. We have lots more for you. But then, enjoy your morning and it's bye for now.
Welcome to stand in the gap. 48 hours of non-stop prayer. 2025. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Where are the waiters? 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 As we tarry for 48 hours, your God will move. Your God will show up. Your God will move. How many of you are trusting God to move?
In intercession, repetition is allowed. Now, if repetition is not allowed, like Jesus would be at fault when he prayed the same prayer 3 times. Let thy will be done. Take this cup away from me 3 times. Jesus said, what is not allowed? Vain repetition. So there's something called vain repetition and urgent repetition. It is urgent repetition that God approves of. But vain repetition is what is disallowed.
Are you ready to pray? Oh, I said, are you ready to pray? The water cannot dampen our fire. No circumstance can dampen our fire. We declare that that anointing is from our inside. He said that the same spirit that raised up Jesus from the dead is dwelling in you.